the morning show with Eric Von Hessler. I am the aforementioned Eric Von Hessler, but I'm not alone. Autumn Fisher is here.
Hello.
Michael Albanese is here. Gregory Russ is here.
Hey.
He's raring to go. You can see he's
I'm
champing at
done
the
with
bit.
the coffee.
Oh, it's all
Just
water
water.
now?
A whole pitcher of water I'm going to drink during today's show.
Well, don't pour it on the equipment.
Oh, I'm trying to
please.
turn down the music.
And that's how mistakes happen.
I know. I've got a glass of water in my hand, a pitcher of water in the other, and I'm trying to just lower the levels on the intro music
That's
here.
how my... Are you lowering the levels on my voice, too? Because I feel like I can't hear myself very well.
You're just speaking quiet.
Yeah, but
Your
sometimes...
voice is soft after that
I'm-
great performance last night.
Yeah,
that I didn't see.
That you didn't go to at Red Light Cafe because you
bum.
don't support me. But sometimes
don't
before we get to
support
that,
you.
sometimes I listen to the show and I feel like I have the lowest microphone on the show.
I
And
felt
I'm the
this-
host.
The way about, I
You
felt
know
that way
why?
about myself.
Yeah, I probably overcompensate.
His is the loudest. Greg
Yeah.
is set. Am I wrong? Okay,
No,
I'm
I
not
agree.
paranoid.
Well, no,
Greg has the most-
no. See, the way I yell, was there clipping there?
I
No.
know.
When
I-
you yell, you clip.
I know.
I
recognize.
in the headphones, do I sound the loudest?
No.
I mean,
No.
if I come off as the loudest, I apologize. I'm not trying to boost the vocal.
Greg,
Levels of my
when I
voice.
was listening, I recognized that is because when my voice goes up, it clips, so you keep it down to a certain level. But overall, it's just kind of weird. We got to fix that. Like, I got to figure out how to work with this microphone in such a way because the host of the show can't have his voice lower than the other voices. That's just not smart, I think.
We'll just start
I mean-
talking really quietly.
After all, people are tuning in to hear my voice first, right?
Well, they hear your voice first.
I mean, I'm the guy who used to be a star.
They always hear your voice first.
It's the morning show.
So anyway, let's. I know that I clip, but I think I just have to learn to do this properly and not clip because I don't think it sounds all that good. Yes. Now you mentioned right there at the top of the show, I was at the Red Light Cafe last night, telling my stories to an appreciative crowd. But guess who wasn't there to appreciate it?
Who?
Greg Russ.
Uh-oh.
Salty. son
Autumn
of a-
Fisher.
Oh,
Well,
what? Me?
she's pregnant. She gets a pass. Michael Albanese was there because he
I
supports
was.
me, and he happened to not have a panic attack that night. So I got lucky.
Very rare. Very rare. For
Yeah,
me on a
for the
Sunday.
record, then it's 1-1. I supported you on your improv night. Michael didn't.
Uh-huh.
I didn't support you on Red Light Cafe night.
Because
Michael
you told
did.
me, and this is the reason that it bothers me, it sticks in my craw, is that his excuse was, I've already said that I will attend game night at a friend's house.
It's very important.
Yeah.
So you get together with people as an adult and you play games.
I don't even like board games, but I committed to it, and I'm trying to change my ways. I'm trying when I say
Does this
I'm
have
going
to do with the
something.
coupling? Huh? Is this the new
Ooh.
Greg as
That's
part of a
nothing.
couple
This
now?
is the new Greg that was been in the works for a decade. I just finally I procrastinate and I pushed it off. I was like, I'm getting older now. Maybe it's time to put everything into action that I thought I should be doing the way I should be living my life.
So it's all come into fruition now.
Yes.
And it came to fruition on game night last night. Autumn, I know. I'm surprised she wasn't there with you. Maybe you don't share the same friends.
She wants to go. They're just not invited. I
No,
think
we
it's-
are
I
invited
think it's
now.
Travis that scares people off.
Travis could be a little loud and goofy. I like Travis a lot, but he could be
I mean,
a
the
little
goofy,
goofy.
yeah, the goofiness comes from the games. The fact that we're adults playing games, we don't
Yes.
need added goofiness on top of it.
No, you guys are all wrong.
Travis is the type of
Yeah,
guy.
that's like eating an icing cake
Who-
with more icing on top.
Yeah.
No thanks.
The games are not those types of games. They're not like Sorry or
Monopoly.
Monopoly.
Oh, I know,
Talk
but-
Woodman.
That's a kid's game.
No, that's a game that we played.
Well, that's fine. But
What
It's a
happens?
fun, fast-paced game of dexterity. It's a reverse Jenga, kind of.
right.
You know, I've played Jenga a few times. And thought if I could only take this backward, it would be a much better game
Yeah.
to play.
I just
Hey,
wish I could
10,000
just
Reverse
stack
is
it.
shit.
10,000 copies sold in Korea. I'll have you know.
So you-
10,000 is very little.
Now it's
compared-
taking the U.S. by storm. 2 to 7 players. You become a woodman or a woman trying to take down some
Woodwoman.
bark.
If you played this game, why are you reading it to me off of a?
I'm not. I memorized the description. You don't want to knock off the centerpieces, though. That's a -5 points. You get 2 chops with the
Yeah.
axe each turn.
Yeah, obvious.
Turn,
Reverse Jenga.
and the game continues until all the bark is gone.
Yeah, it sounds like a great evening. Now, that was your first game night, and I guess one of several as you're now coupled up. Autumn and Travis play games all the time. This
Yes.
is part of your social life, right? You play games.
Or just our personal life we play together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have a little courtyard where you live. And
yeah.
so
we
some games can break out there.
yeah, we do play games out there, but because a lot of our neighbors like to smoke pot.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the games that we're playing are a little bit more complicated.
And they can't
peop-
keep right.
Well, it's not like they couldn't keep up, but they just start hearing some of the rules. And like when you've never played a game before, you're like,
It's
oh my
overwhelmed
God. It's
by the rule,
overwhelming.
right.
Yeah.
I
So
just
they're
tell
like,
people, don't tell me the rules. Just tell me as we go along how to play and what I should do next.
yeah, we should have like a practice game first,
Yeah.
and then you start to understand a
Yeah.
lot better because
Yeah.
explaining everything is really overwhelming, like you said. So,
And in the case that one player has a...
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
like, I'm never going to remember what you're saying. So, yeah, it's tough to play in our courtyard sometimes because people get a little too high and they're like, fuck this. I'm not playing this game.
It's too complicated.
Well, and that's the problem with indie games, which is what the kind of games we play.
Indie games.
I don't
Sounds
know
so
what that
cool.
is. Was Talk Talk Woodman an indie game?
I don't know who makes it. Is
It's
it like a
an indie
German
game.
company? It's
No,
mostly
a Korean
German.
game. It's Korean.
Yeah,
Oh,
an
that's
indie
right.
game is something that's not made by Milton Bradley, or it's just like indie music, right? It's smaller companies that make the game.
And a lot of them are German. There's like a ton of German.
Is there scat involved? Seems like it's
Yeah.
involved with
Always.
anything German. All right, now you must poo.
Now you pull in her hand. 2 points.
See, if I had said that, you would have been, you'd have gotten so upset. Like, oh, he's got to go with the shit, huh?
So you see that name back there?
Mr. Steak?
Does that say Michael Radio?
The Beatles?
No, but
So-
there's some good.
But you do this all the time. I got to tell you, I know that I'm the curmudgeon and I'm the old dickhead. I get it.
You're
But
the curmudge.
I never like. I don't like games. I don't like playing games. I know I have friends that play games all the time, and I just go there and drink and have fun with them while they play the game because my brain doesn't work right for games. Like I can't think about my move based on what your next move is going to be and then where I want to be 3 moves from now. My
Yeah.
brain it's a pretty solid brain, but it just doesn't work that way.
There's actually, I mean, so you're talking about maybe like chess.
Well, or any strategy game, any game where there's strategy.
Yeah,
involved.
but there's some different types of
I play
strategy.
Trivial Pursuit because it's a question and an answer.
Right.
I either know it or I don't.
Yeah, but
So
okay.
it's straight up. It's like a game show.
I'm the same way. Like, I'm not very good at strategy. I like when we're playing regular cards,
Mm-hmm.
like with the actual deck of cards. I can't do that thing where it's like, oh, the ace is out and then this is out. Okay, so you're probably gonna have a 2. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I can't do that. But with these games, it's not exactly like that. You can kind of. It's a little bit easier to see. Like, well, if I do that, then you're probably gonna do that.
Is
so
this
I'm
kind of
not
like
gonna do that.
charades type games? These indie games. When I think of couples getting together and like in the '60s,
Right? They play charades.
they would play charades and
Charades.
things. Charades. Is it like that, or is there's got to be an element of strategy involved?
Well, I mean, there are some games where you're like trying to be the only farmer on this piece of land, and in order to do that, you have to. I know it's complicated. I mean, you
What
have
the
to.
hell is that? That's like the stuff that's online.
It's called Carcassonne.
Like Farmville, but
No,
it's
no, no,
offline.
no, 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 no. It's not
Carcassonne.
like that
It
at all.
sounds like a great dish at a Spanish restaurant. Can I have the carcassonne?
Carcassonne is
with
a
the rice and bean? Like rice
Carcassonne
and bean?
is a French village or like a French city. We call it casserole because
You kids are wacky.
we're wacky.
Inside jokes.
Oh yeah, they're wacky.
No, but with that game, like you have the yeah, I can't explain it.
No, you don't want it to be boring for you to explain
There's
it.
tiles. You build a land. You
Come
have
on,
to
she's
be
almost there.
How
doing
long
Let's
does
just
it take?
Let's complete it. Let's knock her down completely so she just gives up on the story. Boring. Nerd.
How long does the game take?
If it's with 2 people, it goes shorter. If it's with more than it. Oh wait, maybe that's the opposite. I can't remember.
If you got 6 people
It depends.
playing, how long does it take?
It's a lot shorter because then everybody gets to go and build a thing. But
And
if
now
it's-
I take it that this is kind of a hipster thing. All the young people are doing game night again.
I don't
Not
know.
all, but
Not all
it's a
of-
thing.
yeah.
It's a little bit of a thing right now. So
Yeah.
is it about an excuse to drink and do other stuff and have fun? I know you're pregnant, but outside of that, is it an excuse to
maybe
have
for
cocktails and that sort of thing?
No,
Like what
no.
about last night, Greg? Were there cocktails or people marry?
Yeah.
Was Mary there?
I don't think it's an excuse. I think it's just
No, but
a
I
way to
mean-
kill. Like,
I do-
what else are we doing? Are we all going to go to a movie theater where we can't talk to each other? Or are we all just going to sit
Right.
around and
so
talk?
you're socializing.
No, we're
that
socializing.
means there's beer and
Of course. Well,
maybe
there's
some
always,
martinis and things like that.
I mean, there's usually drinking involved in any social activity. Honestly,
Hopefully.
just like a little bit.
Yeah.
No one's because you can't play these games if you're super drunk because you're like, I don't know, I'll put this here.
Now you can play the game when you're super drunk.
It depends on the game.
I almost beat a man in Washington Square Park once playing chess when I was super drunk. I went in there with a brown bag and 24 ounce of Rolling Rock, actually 25 ounces, 1 ounce for free, It was a promotional can.
1 ounce for
Why
free.
did you? What
But I've been
point
drinking
in your
before.
life are you getting a brown bag
Last summer.
beer, walking into Washington
It
Square?
was last summer.
Isn't
He
that
wanted to
known
have
as
a good
Needle?
time?
Is that known as Needle Park?
Needle Park. No, I think that was Bryant Park.
Oh, okay. So there's not a lot of heroin use going
No,
on. in
yeah, but
Washington?
you go buy your drugs in Washington Square Park, sure, in the
So
70s and 80s.
you're alone last summer. And
I'm
you're
not alone.
walking
I
in-
was with my friend Marshall.
Okay.
And we went in. The guy's like, "Hey, come play chess." And I was like, "Okay, we'll go play chess." And we sat down, and Marshall engaged the guy, so I didn't have to speak to him because I hate speaking to people I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's a very talkative person. So he was talking to the guy. The guy was obviously lonely because he's like, "We don't need to use a timer." So I sat there and I thought every move out because I knew he was good at it. And I think he didn't play up to his skill level because he didn't want us to leave.
Right.
But I spent 10 minutes on every move. I would move a piece. As long as you don't take your finger off the piece, it's okay. So I'd move. I was like, well, I go here. You're going to move your rook here. And then I know what you're doing. I'm smarter than you. And then at some point, some guy just came in and started talking to this other guy, and he brought him some pot. Then a joint was being passed around. Then I got stoned, and then I really got into it because I was really overthinking every move. I don't know. It took like 5 hours to play one game of
Are you
chess.
kidding me? I would have punched you in the face
Oh,
if
the
I
guy
was
loved
sitting in
it.
the middle of the park and you're taking 10 minutes for a move.
The guy loved it because he has nothing else going
Well,
on.
He's got nothing else going on. He needs friends. All right, I get it.
I was his friend for one night.
And you beat him?
No, he still won.
He beat him.
Yeah, but we got down to
afterward.
like 3 pieces on the board.
I don't know how to play chess.
I have no
I've
clue
never.
how to play
Can I tell you a
chess.
story about
Yeah.
checkers? When I'm so bad at strategy games that when my 29-year-old was about 9, we were playing checkers a lot, and he would beat me. And one night, I'm getting killed. I'm in my late 20s, and I'm getting killed by a 9-year-old. And at one point, he beat me so badly in like the third game that I pulled a Hungry Like the Wolf. I took the whole board, just threw it in the air. God damn it! I was so
wow.
mad.
Did it scare him?
He knew me.
Like, Dad.
He knew me. Don't hit me. I was just so angry. So I could not face down a 9-year-old
Right.
at checkers. That's how bad I am.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm a dumb guy. My brain just will not work that way.
Well, what about a game? So there's a game called Resistance where
I won't do it.
No, throw it up in the air. Where you kind of are lying, like you have a character card and you look at it, and if you are a bad guy, you put it back down and nobody knows who you are.
Yeah.
And you assume everyone's a good guy, so everyone closes their eyes and only the bad guys look at each other and make eye contact, and then they close their eyes again, and then we start playing. And so
Wait a minute,
you
how
start
do they make contact? How does the other bad guy know that bad guy?
because you look at your card and you know that you're a bad guy.
Right.
So when everyone's eyes are closed, they say, "Okay, now the bad guys open
Their eyes. I see. Okay,
Yeah.
so now you know who the other one is.
Right.
Now, couldn't I screw you guys by opening my eyes and then you?
Well, you're not allowed to lie like that, I guess.
Okay.
There's
you can
lying,
lie, but you can't lie that way. Okay.
Well, the good guys, yeah, exactly. So then you start playing the game, and you can like fuck people up, but you don't know who it is. You know what I mean? Like there's
No, I don't know what you mean. I'm
like
not following
3
you at
people
all.
are in on this like
Yeah.
this mission or something.
And what's the point?
Well, the mission, the point is for
How do you win?
the good guys to either beat the bad guys and find out who they are.
Okay.
You know, like through gameplay, you
How
say
long does this take?
It's really fast. It's so much fun because then it starts getting to this whole thing where it's like, well, I think Eric fucked up that mission because why would he do that? Blah 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 blah. And you're like, what? I'm not a spy, you know,
Right.
because maybe you think.
But
you know?
this is my question. Doesn't that assume in order for that to work right, everybody has to have a pretty good level of playing? Like if I'm a crappy bad guy and I don't know how to fuck things up, like you know,
no,
you know what I mean?
you know how to do it. There's
Okay.
cards that say either yes or no, like whether the mission was a success or whether it was a failure. And if Michael, me, and Eric are playing, and Eric is the bad guy, we all put our cards in face down, and then we pull them up to see the other side. And if we don't know who
Mm-hmm.
it was. It could have been me. It could have been Michael. It could have been you. But we don't know you're
By
the
the way,
bad
this
guy.
is the point
Yeah.
when I'm over at people's places, people's homes,
Where you say, "Fuck it."
This is where I say, you know what? I'm just going to drink and enjoy myself. And be a part of this without playing the game, because I understand what's happening. The
Yeah.
social dynamic is people are laughing and they're whatever and just enjoying each other's company, and I enjoy being a part of that, but
Right.
without playing the game. If there's any referee that's necessary, if there's any, you know what I mean, anything like that, I'll play that. Or a lot of times there'll be some question there, and because I'm not playing and I have no skin in the game,
Right.
I'll decide,
Right, right,
whatever.
right.
But and I'm perfectly willing to do that, and I'm not trying to screw the night.
Right.
But I just don't want to play. I just want to be here with my friends and be part of the conversation.
See,
and some people understand that, and some people don't.
Yeah.
But I'm still having fun. The worst part is where people keep trying to get me to play because they're assuming I'm not. It's like, no. This is how I'm having fun. Being here with you, being a part of this,
Yeah.
and not having to think about my next move, because having to think about my next move ruins everything that I'm trying to have fun
But
with.
I think that you would especially like this game because
This is how it starts.
No, because you don't have to think about what your next move is. You have to think about the psychology of everyone, because you're going to say what makes it fun sometimes is that you are convinced that Mike is the spy. You're like, Mike is the bad guy. I know it.
Well,
and he's
I'd
like, no,
assume.
I'm not. And then the more you deny it, the more you seem guilty. And then it's just this impossible thing to carry off. And then
How
eventually,
do we find out who the bad guy is?
if
What
the
happens
when the bad guys win? If the bad
Okay.
guys win the game, then you're like, haha, I was a spy the whole time. And you're like, I knew it.
So what if they don't win?
Well, then the good guys win, and
And
you're
you
like,
know who didn't
yay!
win.
And then you show who are the spies, and then you get to talk about like, I knew you were a spy because you said this, and why would you do? It's fun.
Can't you just talk about a book you read and start the conversation that way?
Who's
and
reading
get moving?
books?
Not
I
me.
play-
They just sit on my shelf for decoration.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look at the.
Anyway, there's a ton of games, and they're really, really fun.
They're
just-
color coded also. That's how I arrange them.
Oh, the books.
Oh, the
Yeah,
books. I'm sorry.
color-coded.
We're talking
Color
about
coded by author.
Well, yeah. Did you have fun, or did you cause a scene? I can't imagine Greg being a part of something like this without having to stand out in some way. You know what I mean, Autumn? Like he's going to have to do something like that, throw an imaginary fit or something.
Normally. But going back to earlier, I figured out why Travis and Autumn aren't invited, like I said. So
We
I
are
have I have a
invited.
new rule. Don't be a
saying we're
Travis.
invited.
That's how I
Oh,
that's how I
don't
live
be
my-
a Travis.
That's how I
Look,
live
he's
my
going
life.
after your husband.
Don't be a Travis.
What does that mean? How do
Oh, I think you know.
I think you know
Don't-
what
yeah,
it means.
Don't stand out. Just be part of it.
you mean don't be awesome at games and friendly?
You think he's crying? He's listening?
He's just trying to hurt
Tears
your
are running
husband's
Travis,
feelings.
don't cry.
He's just trying to hurt
That's
your
all right.
husband's
No,
feelings.
that's not even true.
Travis
Yeah.
can be a little wacky, but we love him for it.
How is he wacky?
He's a little wacky sometimes. It's in a fun way. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not anything.
He's in a
I
wacky
think
in a
he's
Wisconsin way.
One of the nicest people I've ever met.
Ah,
But he's wacky, and he's a little goofy
I
sometimes.
feel like I'm the wacky one.
No, he's put it this way.
If-
Out
if-
of all the people I know, the one who's most likely to engage in wordplay or throw a pun at me, if it's not your father, would be your husband. You surround yourself with these people.
I think I'm one of those people.
If Eric had
but
a top
cute.
40 radio background,
Uh-huh.
you wouldn't be here on the show, but Travis would as the host, the co-host.
Yeah, he'd play games like Douse Your Spouse. Yeah, he's
That's
like
a different game on a different website.
He's got
so.
kind of
Yeah.
he's got kind of a wacky DJ personality. You'd agree
you
with that?
crazy?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a
No
little
way.
bit.
He's
Travis
like,
and
hey, how you doing? Hey, guys,
No,
hey.
not like that, but he's a little bit goofy.
Travis and
In a good
Spiff.
way.
It'd be a great show. Spiff comes out of retirement. Travis and Spiff.
Travis and Spiff be fantastic. Now I'm gonna feel bad next time I see him. I think he's wonderful.
No, I don't think
I
you
don't
guys
think
are
any
saying.
of us are saying otherwise.
No, I don't think so either. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see him as wacky.
He'll always throw it. Your husband can sometimes throw in the joke that's the last joke that it's kind of over before he threw the joke in.
Sure.
Every once in a
that's all of us, isn't it? We're all
not so
trying.
much me.
Yeah. Oh.
I seem to have great timing. Kind of falls just perfectly.
yeah, just like natural
No, just
comedian.
natural just comes out of it like
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I'm being critical, but I'm not. He's
No,
a
no,
great
no.
guy.
I don't think that at all.
He's a great guy.
He is great, and playing games is awesome, and we should play.
I don't play games. I don't enjoy it. I like Trivial Pursuit.
We're
That's
gonna
it. 'Cause
play
it's a
this
question
later.
and it's an answer.
Love
Albanese,
letter.
what are you just asleep over there? Do you
I'm
not?
listening.
Do you
I don't
engage
play, I
in
don't
this sort of
play
thing?
games that much. I'm not a big
I don't play games either.
gamer.
We're gonna play this after the show.
I play them like on holidays when the family gets around, and it's like, let's play Cranium, and that's it. And
Oh, yeah.
then
Cranium.
my dad gets pissed.
Cranium.
Your dad gets somebody gets angry usually at games
Yeah,
I'm
then
involved
it's-
with. So
And eventually we all get drunk, and have a good time.
The
and
game's
fall
still
asleep.
popular, like from the 70s. The Spencer's Gifts games that are supposed to lead to orgies.
Oh God.
Like those are still
Lick
around.
my elbow. Those like
Or-
sex dice.
Yeah, but there's even more than that. There's actual board games that are just. The whole idea is to get you real horny, so
They're
you'll start
raunchy.
swapping wives or whatever.
Ew.
I don't know. Look, I can't remember the names of these, but in the 70s in Spencer's Gifts, they had them. I've got a secret. Ooh, some kind of stuff like that.
My mom told me recently that I was conceived after they played strip poker or something. She
See?
and my mom.
No
and my
wonder it's in your DNA.
Yeah. Games.
You wouldn't be here, but
But I wasn't
not
into
a
games
game.
until Travis brought them around.
I
And I was
wonder.
like, oh, cool.
See what I told you? Who brought in the games?
Trav.
Yeah.
But he's from Wisconsin. It gets cold. You got to drink. You got to play games.
There's got to be a game thing because Kevin Kinney loves games.
Yeah, he's
I
from
go over to
the-
his place.
yeah.
He's from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
and it's always a game, and the only thing I'll do is Trivial Pursuit. Any other game, I just sit there and drink and have fun.
Well,
and
next
laugh.
time he's playing a game, please call us and we'll come play fucking games.
Fucking games.
Wow, she's
Not
getting
those
all-
kinds of
Yeah,
games.
So
you're bringing
that's the
back
kind
this-
of games
yeah,
that we're playing.
Fucking games.
Kevin Kinney was playing strip poker. I wasn't going to get involved.
No.
I just sat there and drank and had fun.
Strip poker is gross.
It is gross. Of course it
You're
is.
just sitting there with your like.
I know. If you're not,
sitting there
if,
in
if
a
everyone,
chair.
if everyone isn't 20 years old, it's
Yeah,
gross.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Your balls are
Yeah,
sitting on the chair.
But the
terrible.
70s, I think it was different. People liked that.
I don't know.
They liked
You
hairy
like
balls.
I haven't
Poker?
played strip poker in a long time, but I always remember being awesome. I haven't. Maybe should do a little mid-30s strip poker.
Yeah. Bring it back.
Ugh.
It is kind of awkward when you're just kind of sitting there. I would think. I've
'Cause
never
sitting
played.
has never been a good position for sexiness.
I've never worked.
How does it? Wait,
I've never
so-
worked nudity into any group activity. I've never gone skinny dipping.
Oh, you've never gone
I've
skinny dipping?
Why would I?
Have you?
It feels great on your balls.
It well, and
Alone,
it
maybe I
feels
would.
like swimming in lotion. Skinny dipping, don't you think?
But it's the whole
Especially when you
group
go
part of it
swimming
that
in
I wouldn't
lotion.
do it.
That's skinny dipping in lotion.
So with strip poker though, if you're playing with multiple people, when you lose the hand, you strip.
Right.
So the person who wins the hand picks one person, or is everyone strip at that point?
I think it's just the. I don't know.
I think
forget
it's
how
when
you play.
everybody.
I think
whoever
everybody
wins-
has to remove an article of clothing.
Who doesn't win the hand?
Who doesn't
well,
win the
that
hand.
seems like it would happen pretty quickly. You think one at a time.
Well,
Like you gang up on the person you want to see naked.
I'm gonna take off my shoe.
Yeah, it starts off.
That's
yeah,
the
well,
girls
I-
always
one
do. They're
shoe.
like, I'm taking off my bracelet. That doesn't count.
First of all, if you're a girl and you've agreed to strip poker, let's just remove everything and go fuck. You've basically said, I'm open to this. Why this? Why
Because
is
you
the
want the-
necessity of this little thing?
'Cause you
We
want
have
the
beds,
slow
we have
build.
rooms. Let's just go do it.
Because it's the slow build. It's like, oh, just a little sneak peek. Sexy.
I don't know. I
The
find that
slow
weird.
build. You don't like the.
I would be so creeped out. So creeped out. I wouldn't be able to get through it. I'm so
It's
easily
not
creeped
creepy.
out.
It's just
I'm so easily creeped
terribly
out.
sexy.
terribly sexy.
Yeah. I was
How old were you the last
horrified.
time you played strip poker? And did you win or lose? And
30
how much
now, so
30.
30.
Yeah.
how much clothing had to come off the most? In,
I
strip
mean, I
poker?
don't think I ever played a game of strip poker that led to anybody getting naked. Maybe like a bra came out, and it's like, I'm done. I'm not playing this. Stupid.
Yeah, no,
And they took it
che-
out.
you're cheating.
They took it off like under their shirt.
Yeah,
you know?
something stupid. You're cheating.
And what age are you at this point? 22, something, 20?
No, I mean probably
17?
17, 18.
Yeah, that's when. Yeah, spin the bottle for me.
Trying to
was,
get a peek at some adolescent titties. It's
That
okay
was-
because I was an adolescent.
That's
at
when
the
you,
time.
of course, were an
Obviously,
adolescent
Yeah,
yourself.
not this time when you were 30.
No,
No,
Just
no, no,
saying.
no, no. That
of
time I
course.
wouldn't talk about.
You
it.
wouldn't be interested at all.
or
Not at
to
all.
admit to it.
Ew.
Yeah, I mean, we played spin the bottle and things like that when I was like 14, 15.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
found
yeah.
that to be awkward and strange.
Yeah.
It's just weird to me.
You got to get out of your head.
I do have to get out of my head, but I don't find I don't like anything sexual going on unless it's between me and one other person and we're alone.
It's
Was
like
I don't like
was your-
any. I don't like any kind of sexual vibe at a party. I just don't like any of it. It weirds me out.
yeah.
Was your version of spin the bottle the one where you have to kiss in front of everyone, or you go to a closet for like?
That's
Uh,
7
10
minutes in
minutes.
heaven.
That's different, yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh.
did both of those.
I didn't do either.
You wouldn't do it?
Nah, I wasn't around. I wasn't cool enough to be in the parties that had that stuff going on.
Come on, when you're 16 years old
No
or something,
way.
you were cool.
Oh, I had that broken nose.
Oh yeah.
No way.
Everybody thought you were Jewish.
That didn't
They're like, get the
happen.
Jewish kid out of
That
here.
didn't happen.
I remember.
I do
going-
have a variation on spin the bottle though. I think everyone should play.
What?
If you're at a dinner table with a bunch of people, you take a knife and you spin it, and it's called "Who's Gonna Die Tonight." Whoever the knife lands on is gonna die. That one goes over really well with people.
Who's gonna die tonight?
Who's gonna die tonight? And you spin the knife, and then whoever lands on, dead.
That's the game. Game's
Well, you
over.
didn't specify who is it, the front or the back of the knife. You didn't say it, so I'm not
Gotta be
dying.
the
Spin it
front.
again.
It's
You gotta
the
be
sharp
clear.
side.
I believe that would be considered an indie game.
Yes.
Very, very small.
The Germans invented
Germans
it.
behind it, no doubt.
And then
Well, I
the
don't
only way
want
you can save yourself is by taking a big shit on the table.
I don't want to poop on everybody. If you kids want to get together and play games, and that's what you should do, I don't necessarily understand it. Thanks to the Red Light Cafe for having me last night. It was a blast, and I just think that I keep proving over and over again that if you put me on stage, you've got entertainment. It just happens that way, and I always enjoy doing these things. So thanks to them, the Red Light Cafe.
We had some fans coming out. That was cool.
Absolutely,
Thank
we got
you
fans.
guys all for showing up.
We got
Did you
fans.
sign autographs?
They just won't give us any money.
Nobody had a pen. That's what was crazy.
Too
Not
bad.
a pen in the place.
Nothing's worse than giving an autograph in a pen. Like without a Sharpie, it's not really. It's such
yeah.
a dinky little.
It's like a credit card
pen.
receipt.
Yeah, it's just like-
Yeah, let me tell you about it. All the autographs I've given
Yeah?
with a
Yeah.
pen. Oh,
Your arm's got to be sore every
How many
day.
autographs have you given in your life, Michael? You've given quite a few, I'm sure, after shows.
no,
Come
none.
on.
I just think
Zero.
I just think of when someone does ask for an autograph, like say a radio DJ, or I know you were never really a DJ, so I'm sorry to lump you into that category.
Broadcaster, thank you.
Yeah, okay, but you sign autographs, and let's say you just disappear, and then one day
Yeah.
someone's going through their drawer, and like, why did I ask
what
that
is
guy
this?
for this?
I gotta.
This is
I,
embarrassing.
I have to assume that's 80% at least of the people who get your. They see you, you're around. Maybe there was some sort of event that night. They're whipped up by it. Hey, can I get an autograph? But there's less because of the selfie. There's less autographs now.
Right.
Now people just walk up to you and ask you to take a picture with them. A lot more than autographs.
Well, yeah, I have an autograph of Pete Holmes because I just, it's just like a way to interact with someone,
Right,
because
right.
you don't really have anything to say.
Where is it now? You got to hang it
Well,
on the
now
wall.
I have it, and I'm like, what do I do with this
Yeah, what
thing?
do you
What
do
did
with
they
this
say?
I know.
I'm sure my autograph is at the bottom drawer of so many people's desk.
What about that
or
guy
over
that
the
has
years?
your face on his ass?
He had it taken off, I think.
Really?
Yeah, because when he went over and he did one of those radio things where then he became friends with the other morning show, 99X
What?
morning
Really?
show, and so I think they paid to have him take our faces off of his ass. But the fact that anybody that freaked me out.
That was
From
crazy.
when we did it, it's like, wow, this is a pretty cool thing. A guy's got a picture of my face on his ass. But then again, now I'm looking at his ass, and there's
Yeah.
my face.
That's what freaked you out is that you looked at his
No,
ass,
but
not the
no.
fact that this
No, I
moron
looked at
put
his
your
ass
dumb
and I
face
saw
on it.
his. No, it's one thing to conceive and think of it. It's another thing for a guy to drop his pants and your face is on his ass.
Right.
I mean, that's when you start wondering if the guy's a serial killer.
Well, he
maybe
was
maybe
very
he tattoos your
small.
face on his ass and then he kills you.
Oh yeah.
That was the kind of thought that I was having. So apparently that was taken off his ass.
Man, they were big too. The faces on.
Oh no,
that.
yeah, they're the same ones that are at what's that restaurant where they put your faces
Hooters.
up on? No, in Buckhead, in Albany's. Help me. In Buckhead restaurant, celebrities, their faces are
Rolling
drawn
Stone.
on the wall.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Palm.
either.
Palm.
Oh,
Palm
we've
restaurant.
never been to.
I don't
the-
even knew that existed.
The Palm.
No, I mean I've heard of it, but there's
Class
one,
it up a little
Buckhead.
bit, my friend. Class it up.
Look, you're getting bar food out of me, babe.
Put $500 in your pocket and go have a couple drinks at the
Yeah, that's
Palm.
what I need is a $500 steak.
So
on my face.
we're somewhere over there close to REM, I think. So it was me and Steve and Larry. So it's our face. So it's
Terrible.
that drawing
Yeah.
is exactly what's on that guy's ass, or was on that guy's ass.
I had a
I can't
picture of
find
it.
it.
I know. I had a picture of it a long time
It's
ago.
on the back of one of the CDs.
Oh.
Oh yeah, remember
Ugly.
those days?
Yeah. Oh, the CD days.
Yeah,
Woo.
the best of CDs.
That's a weird tattoo. Why would you get that tattoo? Why is this?
Oh, good.
What is this one?
Almighty.
It's a good one.
It just looks like.
little gooch.
Send that to me.
You say you
me. So I can
got
put it
it.
up, so we
Now,
can
I
talk
don't know.
about
Is that a guy or a girl?
It's a
'Cause that
starfish.
right there,
is all that
that
I
could
see.
be
A
either
starfish.
one.
Yeah. That's
That
the
could be either
back
one.
sack.
Because there's no real hair, so that could be.
Yeah. Why is he hairless?
Why isn't everybody hairless? That's
Right?
what I say.
Well, it's coming from you.
Do you shave your butthole, Michael Albanese?
No, I've never shaved my butthole.
I think that should be your first question for any celebrity interview you do.
Hey Pete, you're interviewing Pete Holmes.
Hi, Pete. Oh, so Pete.
Now
So-
ask me if I wax it.
Ooh, yeah. Not
Well,
shaving
you only
it.
get one question a day, so
so-
I'm sorry.
man.
World may never know.
Kevin Costner. Do you shave your butthole? Should be
What
your
do you
first
think?
question, straight out.
You think he does?
We were eating yesterday, and Kevin Costner showed up on ESPN. Oh, that's right, you were there. You paid
I was there.
Yeah.
I paid for lunch.
with your green credit card.
That was before your show at the Red Light Cafe. See, we hung out with you, then we ditched you.
Oh, that's true. We hang out for lunch. But the other day, we were at eating Mexican, and Kevin Costner shows up on ESPN on the big screens, and I guess he's pushing this new movie, Draft Day, which has got to be terrible.
Oh, it's gonna be the worst. It's
It's-
gonna make $1 million.
Oh yeah,
a
because
minute.
well, they're being smart, right? They're going to release it just before draft day and on. So, and people are interested to see what maybe goes on behind the scenes with the teams. But he shows up on ESPN to promote the thing, and the dude looks like he's a bronze statue of Kevin Costner.
He looked terrible.
It was beyond belief. At first, I looked up. I thought, he was darker than most black people I know.
Well, I think that was maybe it was the TV, like the contrast or something.
The other guy that was interviewing him didn't look like that.
Yeah. Ugh.
That was
he
his
looked like a
spray-on
bronze.
tan.
Yeah.
Spray-on stuff. Come on, people. First of all, it's almost assuredly going to end up in cancer one day as you block your pores with this crap. But what is the deal with that? Like, do people think they look good with a spray-on tan? Or am I only seeing people who have it done poorly?
I don't think about such things because I don't go in the sun. Like a tan to me means nothing. But some people don't like their pasty white skin.
I get that. But that doesn't look natural to me.
No, he looked
That looks
crazy.
weird.
Maybe he'd done it. I think it fades and it looks a little more natural. Maybe he'd gone right before.
Yeah.
Okay, well, don't go right before you're
Yeah.
on ESPN for
bad
Christ's
timing.
sake.
Well, and he has like blonde hair. He has this.
Oh, he's doing all the I'm not old stuff.
and he has the crazy facial hair
Yeah.
that's way too dark.
Yeah.
Like he's
oh,
not.
yeah, it's all all the hair is
He
dyed
looked-
one color or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, that's right. His hair is dyed blonde or
Right.
like tipsy. And his skin is bronze.
Right.
And then his mustache little goatee thing is dyed dark black or something. And so it
Yeah.
just looks ridiculous.
It's the old Hollywood Hogan style. When Hulk Hogan was a
Yeah.
bad guy,
Yes.
he had the blonde hair but a black mustache.
And
Yeah,
WO.
that's how you know he's
no,
evil.
No, blonde hair, blonde mustache, but the rest of his beard was black.
Yeah.
So there on the facial hair, blonde and black.
That's how you know someone's evil.
What is the thing in this country? What is
They-
the anti-aging thing in this country? Why are we suddenly creating human beings who believe that they shouldn't age? When I look at the celebrities that I grew up with, they were all old and they didn't care. Bob Hope didn't have face work done so that he would still look like the Bob Hope from the Road movies with Bing Crosby. Like in the 60s and 70s when I was seeing him on stuff, it was like Bob Hope, he's aging. Hey, look, there's Henry Fonda. He's pretty old now. You know how I know that? Because he hasn't had face work done.
Yeah.
None of these people tried to look young when I was growing up. They just kind of thought, well, everybody before me got old, and that's probably going to happen to me, and it's going to be a natural sort of thing.
Right.
It's pathetic to look at Kevin Costner trying to look like he's 40.
What about women that do
'Cause
it?
that's
'Cause
young to him
I
now.
feel like women have almost like a past, like they're expected to be beautiful forever.
But they didn't used to be.
Well, they had. Well, if you age badly,
Yeah.
then you look bad. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
it's
as a
fine.
woman.
That's what happens.
So what? You're 68 years old.
You know why it
No, you're
happens.
talking
You
about
know why they're
68,
trying to
but
hold
what
on to that youthful look. Especially women acting, they get forced out first. Men can
Right.
stick around.
Right.
Oh, you're looking too old. We can't cast you in these roles anymore. And I just feel like any kind of work on a woman, it falls right in like mid 40s. So someone who's 30, who's still young, gets some work done, and then they look older, but they're still trying to look younger.
Yes,
Right.
they
Uh-huh.
look. Yeah, if you're
It just
30,
falls
you're
They haven't figured it out
Yeah,
yet.
you're getting face work done. So I'm assuming you're 45 because
Yeah.
you've got that 45-year-old who had her face work
have
done.
you seen Farrah from the
Yes,
Teen
I
Mom?
have.
The
Oh, is she the one who did the?
So
she did
hot.
the porn.
She did the
and then
porn.
She, and
She
then
I
says
think
it's
she's
not.
so hot.
Are you crazy?
I think she's smoking.
What did
hot.
she do?
She was on 16 and Pregnant, and then she got
she
a
has
lot of
kids, okay.
surgery, and then did a porn with somebody.
Wasn't a Vivid video, I think.
Yeah, she says it was a sex tape, and she's trying to say it wasn't a porn, like that she wasn't
No,
doing
but she's
a porn.
with a professional actor, so it's a
No,
sex
with
tape.
a
Yeah.
with the guy. It was fuck. I can't remember the guy's name.
Well,
He's like
it's
one of the
James
Next time we go to the
Dean.
Library
James
of Congress,
Dean,
we'll pull out that big book of
Yeah.
porn.
But
dust
yeah,
it
so
off.
she has gotten some plastic surgery that makes her look like all of the old women.
that are
And
trying to
how
look
old
young.
is she? She's so young.
She's got to be, I don't know, 25, I'm guessing.
I hate all of it. I hate all of it. I hate fake boobs.
Oh, it's very
I
bad.
hate
don't know
all that
What does
shit.
she look like? What's her name?
Farrah Abraham.
Farrah.
Blah, Farrah.
Fake boobs. You know, when I was on the old show, we'd have
Can't
these
find a good
strippers come in quite a bit. And I'm sorry. adult dancers. We would have them come in.
Great.
Are you crazy?
You're tripping.
No way.
Have you seen her move her mouth and like her face?
Yeah,
It
I
looks.
saw her mouth with a.
Look, she doesn't. No, she doesn't look. I make that noise like she's disgusting. She doesn't look bad, but there was no reason to do it because it looks like she was pretty before. So why is she getting the work done?
Yeah.
Because now look at her. We're talking about her, and she wins.
Here's a good picture. Like she looks.
I already forgot her name, so it's not working.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
but see, here's the problem. That doesn't look too bad, but she's not going to stop.
right.
She's not. If she's starting at 22 or whatever she is, and with her first face work, it's never going to end.
And those
And-
injections,
and-
some of those things don't come out. You know what I mean? So you're stuck with those lips forever.
Who's the girl I'm thinking of? The one from Sleepless in Seattle.
Meg Ryan?
Meg Ryan.
Oh, have you seen her?
Oh, poor thing.
I mean, it looks like she's perpetually sucking on a lemon. I mean, she was a pretty girl. She was not a knockout. She wasn't a beauty queen.
Right.
But she was. God damn it! You don't have to be. When I was watching WKRP in Cincinnati, I was into Bailey, not Lonnie Anderson. I was
Yeah.
into the girl who looked like a girl I might meet and have a drink with. And everybody isn't a beauty queen. There's no reason for Meg Ryan to try to become a sex pot. She was just a cute. Cute is
she was-
so erotic. It's so erotic, just cute. And she had to. Oh, I'm gonna blow my lips up. She looks like the fucking Joker.
That's what I was gonna say.
I mean-
it does look like the Joker.
And she paid good money to do this to her face because she didn't like the way the old cute Meg was aging.
No. I don't. Oh, but how she was aging.
How she was
I think she
aging.
was trying to stay cute. She was trying to keep
She
that like.
never looked like this when she was young.
She was trying to keep that like Cupid bow lip
Right.
that goes up,
Yeah.
and then you get the facelift that brings your
Yeah.
eyebrows up, and then you get it all frozen so
Yeah.
that nothing moves.
You show no emotion in your life. That's great. A face that shows zero
an
emotion.
actress.
For an actress, yeah.
an actress. My friend said that she has a friend who's doing Botox, and when she hangs out with her, sometimes she's looking like she can see where the Botox ends. So like you can see where things are frozen and it looks nice
Mm-hmm.
on their skin or like around their eyes, but then you can see when her face moves the parts that don't have the Botox
They
in it.
jump
and she
out
says,
at you.
and then you can see the contrast, like, oh, you have that's a lot of wrinkles right
Yeah.
there. So it would be better if just like the whole thing was wrinkly and you just never noticed
And
because
you
it was their
age
face.
like other people age, or eat better, be more healthy, diet. These kind of
or
things
just
can help your
accept-
face.
Accept it.
Yes.
Like I'm short, and maybe I could get some sort of surgery that
Yeah,
makes
we
me
could break your
tall.
legs in half and put some extensions in.
Right.
And let
We've
them
all
heal.
seen Gattaca.
Stilts.
It's like that. You have to accept things about yourself.
How about guys who do the Botox? I mean,
yeah.
I know one. I used to work with one who did Botox. My wife.
Who?
Oh, who do you think?
Could it be?
Whoa, who got Botox?
Sebastian.
Could it be now?
No, my wife would only see Southside Steve like 2 or 3 times a year.
Oh.
And whenever she would see him, she would, after we were done, she would come back and have this like litany of, this guy is out of his mind. He's like, I'd be with him all the time, and I would think there was normality to it. And then she would see him and go, he cannot accept who he's. All these things. She just go through a litany of, this guy is bizarre. And she started saying to me that I think he's doing Botox, and I was totally defensive. You're out of your mind. I know that guy. He would never do that. And then
Right.
she saw him again like 6 months later, and she's like, he's doing Botox. And so then I confronted him once, and he was like, well, yeah, maybe a little. What the hell is a man doing Botox? This is insane to me.
When you're all about image.
Because he's on the radio?
No.
I mean, if he's on CNN every day,
Yeah.
maybe I can sort of see the.
But if you think about when you don't have the substance in your personality,
There's no need to go after Steve now.
I'm just saying, when what you are putting out there visually
Is all image.
is the only thing that you are
Yeah.
either care about or is dominating your personality. Because
Mm-hmm.
I guess some of the way that we look, I'm sure is intermixed with our personality, right? I mean, it's not solely what your opinions are, what you think, or
You mean your image? Well, how other people view you, you mean? I'm not following you.
okay, like your personality, right?
Right.
Is based on a lot of things, and a part of it is the way that you look,
Yes.
right? But maybe if that's out of balance, you know what I mean? Like maybe if how you look dominates who you are, then you have to keep up a certain thing, and whatever that
Right.
thing is in your mind,
Right.
you have to keep it that way.
No, so he's
And
doing
when-
the same thing. He's like a beauty queen who's known for being a beauty queen. I mean, and so because
At
he's
least to
known
him,
for that,
yeah.
then he has to stay that way.
or like what he thinks about himself might be very superficial. Not superficial in like it's dumb or it's not important,
Right.
but
It's just-
superficial as
just an
in
inch deep.
how you look.
Yeah.
You know? And so he can't face it when things are changing in his body and
But
his
that's
face.
but my point is, isn't that the way that it happens to everybody before? Why did we come along and decide we're not going to age? 10,000 years of civilization says people age.
I
And
guess
every
'cause-
We're
generation
also
before
aging
you
more
was
than we
aged.
ever aged, though. Maybe that's part of it. Because before you wouldn't live as long.
I guess, yeah. Most people died when they were like 40, and so you kind of left a good-looking
Yeah.
corpse every time, kind of thing.
Doesn't
Maybe.
matter what your corpse looks like at that point.
We've
I
been
don't
living.
Really
We've
care
been
what I
living.
look like.
We've been living into our 60s for a good long time now. We've got
No,
a
I
few
know.
generations behind us.
Well, that coupled with the technology that's coming up and the ability to do this, sure.
Right. I think it's
Inject
just
that into my
availability.
lips.
It's just being.
Weird.
It's just what's available.
It's
to you.
like I think we talked about this after the Oscars. I think we did. The Kim Novak showed up from the girl who was in Vertigo.
Oh, right.
And she looked like she was insane.
Yeah.
I mean, she had this work done that just looked literally. She looked like Meg Ryan. She looked like she was insane. I hate all of it. I hate fake boobs. Do nothing for me.
Yeah, ditto.
We used to always have fake boobs look good when a girl has a shirt on. Like we had these porn stars in.
off.
We had these porn stars in a lot at the old show,
Uh-huh.
and they'd always bring their latest DVD or whatever with them and leave them behind. And I would see the girl with the shirt on, and I think, wow, that's pretty interesting. I want to pop this in and see without the shirt. And for me, it was always better with the shirt on because boobs are supposed to move naturally. When
They have gravity to them.
when you're popping up and down on some guy's lap, they're not supposed to stay stone. There's supposed to be some flop involved. And
Flop.
Now, too much flop maybe is not sexy either. But these bullets that just kind of stay in one place
Yeah.
is to me not sexy.
Yeah, we were saying. Yeah, go ahead,
I
Mike.
don't know, I think it's up to the taste. That's.
Come on, you
I like
freak!
them both.
Tell us what you like.
What's the difference? Why can't you? Can you like them both?
They're not real.
Have you ever had
It's
your
the
hands
best
on
way.
a fakie?
I have,
right,
and they
well.
don't feel real. They feel like collapsible cups to me.
Collapsible cups.
What does
No,
that feel
I
like?
shouldn't say they feel like collapsible cups, but when in the porn, whenever the girl's kind of doggy down and she has fake breast and her breasts are touching the bed, and then he's pushing against her and then she's getting smushed in, they watch it.
Very specific
I
scene
am
you're
being very
describing.
specific. I am very specific because I'm making a point that's worth making.
Yes.
And that is that if you look at it, they don't smush in. They go like collapsible cups. They go like
They
ridge,
make a weird shape.
Ridge as they collapse down. There's nothing real about it. It's just bizarre.
I
to
can't
me.
get past the fact that it's just bags of goo inside someone's
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
Like
Do they-
under the skin, and if it's good, under the muscle, apparently. But I think of them when they're dying or they're dead.
Do they take them out?
They
before
do
put-
take them out.
No, they
No,
do?
I think.
Otherwise, you'd open the casket a bunch of years
If you're
later,
going-
and it'd just
Why
be a
would you open the
skeleton and two
casket?
bags.
Yeah, that's what I always thought of.
What is
That's
that?
what I always thought of. The skeleton
Yeah.
lying there with two bags of goo on top of the rib
Just
cage. Maybe
weird.
one's fallen off to the side, but
Some ants have
I do
gotten
think
in
they
there.
take them out at that point. So that
Yeah, it's
that
not-
image is
There's
not
probably some
realistic.
environmental regulation that says they have to take them out before they put them in the ground.
Maybe so.
And
They'll
I think if you-
contaminate the earth.
And probably they affect the burning if you get cremated, so they probably get rid of them. But yeah, it's just bizarre to have now. And look, if
Well,
you
and-
now Angelina Jolie, who had a double mastectomy, is like, yeah, that's a medical purpose, so that she can kind of cosmetically stay the same as she was and feel like a woman. That's fine,
Right.
Or maybe somebody who has absolutely nothing going on and they're smart and they get like a B cup or something. But these ridiculously large
Circus
fake
boobs?
boobs are not appealing to Eric Von Hessler. That is
Yeah.
what I had to say. Now, Michael's a freak, as we know from earlier. He's a sexual
Freaky
freak,
some bitch.
and he likes all of it. I'm sure I'm in the minority here, as I am in everything.
I mean, it's all about personal taste and preference.
What do you prefer?
He likes to put his
That's-
hand on a rock.
That's not necessarily true. I think it depends. I've been around some very nice naturals, and I've been around some very nice not naturals.
So would you say
They all had their plus sides and their downsides. I probably would go natural. I think more.
You would agree that beautiful boobs that are natural are much better than beautiful boobs that aren't natural.
Sure. Yeah.
All
Okay.
things being equal.
Yeah.
Okay, we can agree there.
But never would I ever turn down.
the boob summit. No, don't talk it past. Our boob summit.
Yeah.
We have come to agreement.
I would never touch a breast and be like, these are fake. Ugh, get out of my. Get out of my van.
But being so like
Yeah.
a man being so visually oriented makes me think that you would be able to see the imperfection of a fake boob, and it kind of be like something's wrong here. You know what I mean?
No. Wrong is
No?
is not the right word.
No.
Something's different.
Well, different. But, like, oh, that's true. So being
Something
it being
new.
different is interesting.
Yeah, it's different. And
Like, ooh, those are real big. Like, those look bigger than they're supposed to. I want to
I
find
need to
out
get
more.
my dick between them. Like,
Yeah.
stuff like that is what you
That's
would
really
say,
what you're thinking of.
yeah.
Speaking,
Well-
I think Michael may have a new girlfriend. He thinks he's going to be
do
going
not.
out. I didn't say you had a new girlfriend. I'm just saying there's a
None of
gal
that is
you've got
true.
your eye on
No.
that you're sweet on.
No.
Just dating.
Not
Not
even
even
that.
dating.
No?
I'm only using.
there
Don't
is
worry. I'm only
nobody.
using this as a seg because I wanted to ask you how your national commercial shoot went. We haven't seen you since you did your shoot for your first national commercial for, I believe, Popeyes.
No,
Wrong.
churches.
Churches.
How dare you?
One of those
How's that
fried
movie?
chicken.
Scared but smarter.
Scared.
So
Scared but stupid.
I'm trying to put the spotlight on you
Yeah,
to
yeah.
tell us how it went.
No, it was good. It was really fun. I'm excited to see the final product because it seems really funny.
I'm assuming it was about chicken. Something about chicken.
Correct. It was a Church's chicken commercial, and it was not a hamburger.
No.
Yeah, it was their new spicy chicken.
And what were you doing? Give us a
Eating the chicken, reacting,
this is some of the best, like that kind of thing?
screaming how spicy it is, reacting to the uber spice.
Oh,
I
that's right.
probably that day ate upwards of 10 pieces of like fried chicken, which is a lot. It's a lot of goddamn
It is.
chicken.
So I thought they would just give you take a bite and spit it back out.
Well, they gave you a spit bucket, but there's not. I mean, you're like rolling for 10 minutes in a row, and you're reacting, so it's kind of tough.
so if they stop you and you start again, you got to pick up a new piece of chicken and go.
Well,
at
that
it.
but also you're like eating an entire piece as you're going and making
Right.
the reactions, and so like to spit it out, you would lose that natural. I don't think any of the people that were doing it spit anything out, but
That would gross me out more than
was
just eating a lot of
delicious.
chicken. I'm saying like the
so
spitting
good.
out part.
oh yeah, no, it was so good.
I
There
feel
were
like
a few times.
Did they have their best Popeyes chef there to make sure?
Yeah, they had
Church's.
they had like,
Churches.
Because we were making fun of Popeyes the last time we talked about it. That's why it's in my head.
Oh,
Did they
okay.
have their best Church's chicken chef there?
They had I think they're like the church's corporate food stylist.
Right. You were going to get the best
But
one.
it was at a church's restaurant. They shut down, and it was coming right out of the biscuits were so good.
Oh, the biscuits.
I would love to sit here and be like, ugh. So it was so delicious. But I was like, I just had like chicken running down my arms.
Ew.
It was so good.
So the scenario is something like you're.
They kept having to like every now and then like, all right, we need to cut. Someone clean his beard. It's like
Oh, really?
chicken goo and
Believe
crumbs
me,
in
I've
the old
eaten with
beard.
you. This
Ah,
is something that
look,
does happen. It's part of eating with
There's
Michael.
a couple of downsides to having a big beard. And,
Eating being one of them.
Well, I don't think so.
How often
You
do
just
you
It
eat?
catches it. It
gotta
doesn't.
tuck it in. Tuck it in like that. Then we're ready to
You need
go.
a face bib.
Then
Why
we're
don't you
ready
create
to go.
that?
It's out there.
Is it out there?
Yeah.
Like one of those
I'm
Santa
not into
masks.
the gimmick stuff.
Like one of those Santa masks, and you put it over your ears, and it's
Yeah.
actually a bib over that whole thing.
That's stupid.
And then you don't. But then you don't
Nope,
have
that's stupid.
crap inside of your
Stupid.
beard. It's disgusting.
But the
when you're
idea is
eating.
not stupid, but the actual because there's no way to do it.
There's
Because
no
then,
way
then
to
you're
do
like moving the paper.
Yeah.
And what's dumber? This
like a
doing
crab.
this,
Right.
or just like this? Get
Well,
it?
you
Did I
need
get it?
to.
Got it.
But I think you personally need to be more aware of it. Like you need to be checking constantly
I do check constantly.
because you got a lot of hair there, and it
Yeah.
catches a lot of stuff. And I
don't
turned to you on having a
apologize.
conversation. You got
I
a line of
don't
refried
apologize for
beans
that.
coming down the side of your beard, and it's a little disconcerting.
I do not apologize for that
Why not?
because
You ruined my lunch.
Whoa, it's coming out.
You ruined mine just by being there.
Oh, you guys don't
when we were
fight.
friends, we were friends at one point.
Let's go get Mexican.
He went
food
off to
then.
New York City, and now he's come back with
Hey,
a big
fuck
head.
you
Hey,
you fucking guy, you fucking prick.
Hey, Eric, let me see your national ad. Will you stop looking at that starfish? Jeez, it's driving me crazy.
You
keep looking at this-
motherfucker.
I had to look at it.
You're looking at Miss Butt Crack there all the time, and it's again another mildly
Miss, I think it was a
disconcerting thing.
man. That was a man.
I think it's a man too.
Should we do some? I wanted to ask you if you've Michael, my favorite conspiracy dude.
Sure.
If you are following this light
Hold
on Mars.
Hold on.
What?
Let's make this official news. We haven't done news
We're
in a while.
not doing news.
No,
This
this
is
is
a
news.
story. It's
This
a
is a story that
story.
falls into news.
It's a story. UFO spotters are very excited about this suspicious NASA photo from Mars. Have you seen the photo?
Yes, and they look great. I'm so excited. Here's what's crazy: is they're saying that.
Well, let's explain what it is for people first.
Okay.
There's a the rover. It's the rover that's on Mars. Sends back pictures all the time, and there appears to be some artificial light across the horizon.
Unknown light.
And they've got unknown. I should say artificial, but we would say man-made, not natural. It doesn't appear to be natural to people. A lot of people are saying that it's not a reflection. It's what people think could be coming from underground, as if there will be societies of people living underground in Mars, and we happen to see
They're like, "Whoops."
the light coming up from one of their little hatches,
Yeah.
or something along those lines. And the UFO people and everything are going crazy about this and saying it's unexplained. It's unexplained. And Michael, what
Are
do
they
you
going to send anybody? Are they going to send the rover over there? I mean, that's the next move, right?
Next, I think that they would, but it might look a lot. It's one of those things where it might look a lot closer than it actually is. The rover can go like
It'll take 6 years to get over to that
yeah,
spot if it's
how
3
fast-
miles away.
Yeah, if it's 3 miles, I think it can go like 10 feet a day or something like that. It's
So what? Didn't take it a year and find out what that light is.
Well, what if they turn the light off by the time it gets
Well,
there?
that's what I'm saying though. And then there's
Well, the light's gone. It's not like it's just like like a
The hatch
flame
closed.
that's blowing there.
The hatch closed.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes.
if Mars, which I don't think it does, has a molten core, and you're going to live there, it's cold on the surface. Underground makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense. It
Eh,
sure
but
does.
I think it's a dead planet completely.
Yeah.
So too bad.
According to UFO
Done.
sightings, I assume
Well, listen.
you subscribe to UFO sightings, David.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Our origins are on Mars. Let's be honest. We used to live on Mars as humans, and then we came over here. But there's got to be people that, or Martians, whatever you want to call them, are on. Like when we get rid of Earth, like when Earth becomes a dead planet, which it will. We're gonna run it. Gonna run it our course here.
How many years do you think that?
Who
is in the
knows?
future?
However long it takes. Could be.
Sagan
could
said
be
the
2
same
years.
thing.
No, but no. If you want to talk about, and I'm gonna let you finish your thing. If people are still around, at some point when the sun gets to the
I'm
point,
not talking about
No,
that.
I know you're not, but I'm saying that you would conceivably have people leaving the planet simply because, not because of global warming, but simply because the sun's about to blow up, and you would, but not by blow up I mean get so large that it would encompass the Earth as well. So maybe you try to escape out
Sure.
to a moon of Jupiter or something. I don't know, or maybe even further than that.
Right.
Right. So there's a reason that people could leave, and your idea about us starting on Mars, people think maybe the same thing. That planet was dying,
And we
then
moved to Earth, which
we
we
moved
will
to Earth.
eventually have to do again.
Right. I
We'll
don't know.
just
that that's-
forget our history and our records will all disappear. We'll have
That's
no
right,
idea that
yeah.
one day we lived on Earth.
Yeah, and so you throw it out there as if it's a fact. I'm trying to give you
Well,
some context that
hold
maybe
on.
it could happen.
The idea that maybe only a few were able to leave. Maybe they could only get one ship worth of people
Right.
to
Noah.
Earth.
This is the Noah story.
Yeah, this could be Noah. The real story of Noah could be a spaceship rather than a stupid boat.
Now hold on. Don't different planets have different gods?
Of course.
Oh, I
And
didn't
all
realize
of
that.
them are
Our
fake.
God. So Allah is for us.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Yahweh is for us. But he doesn't. He's like a regional manager.
But people then are
He
gonna,
does. He's not over all the planets.
people are going to stay. Like everybody can't leave, and they're going to have to either survive or die. So maybe whatever this is maybe there are people living underground because, like Greg said, the heat is greater,
Right.
and
Yeah.
to survive, you can't be on that.
Now, do you
cold
think it's
temperature.
like a modern society, or you
Could
think
be,
it's like
absolutely. People live underground here. Like it's not, it's not that crazy of an idea. And they only come up every now and again.
Well, let me tell you. It says here. This guy said
when they flood the subways.
An
that's when they
artificial
come out.
light source was seen this week in this NASA photo, which shows light shining upward from the ground. This could indicate that there is intelligent life below the ground and uses light as we do. This is not a glare from the sun, nor is it an artifact of the photo process. Look closely at the bottom of the light. It has a very flat surface, giving us 100% indication it is from the surface.
Indiction?
I never heard that word before.
Yeah.
Sure, NASA could go and investigate it, but hey, they are not on Mars to discover life, but they're to stall the discovery of life.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
This
they're
guy,
there.
They're
That's-
there to make sure we don't find out there's life on
Right.
Mars. Because if we found out there was life on Mars, something would happen that's what? We'd overthrow the government? What?
Yep, at
Why?
that point,
What would be the point of the government
it's
knowing
the church,
there's life
man.
on Mars?
It's the church, the Catholic Church.
Oh, the
They're
Pope
holding
then.
on.
I thought it was the stonecutters.
Yeah, this new pope is there
Masons?
to distract us. Now, the Masons want us to know
Oh,
about
really?
enlightenment.
They hold all the secrets back, I thought.
No, do they? The Illuminati?
Yeah, the lizard people.
At the point of this story, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory had yet to respond officially to press requests.
Well, they have update. They have.
Oh, they have now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Justin Mackey from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory said that NASA thinks that it's either a vent hole light leak or a glinty rock, which also sounds kind of funny.
Glinty rock.
No, that's a scientist actor. That guy, you can't trust
Oh,
him.
scientist actor.
Hired scientist actor.
But it is kind of interesting. They said that in the 2 right eye images, the spot is in different locations. So,
What would that mean?
well, like that it might just be a anomaly or like a
Yeah, I think it's
error.
probably-
Well,
It's
they
Some
use
sort
2
of-
cameras, so it's kind of like that'd be the equivalent of a stereo image.
Right.
Right, and it's not in one, and it is in the other. So it seems like the not
Refracting
reflection.
one?
Yeah,
Refraction.
Yeah, refraction or something of the
Right.
light going into the ventilation hole by the camera's lens could have just been like this perfect timing of like, dink, whoops.
Yeah, I mean,
you
that
know.
kind of stuff does happen, but the bloggers are saying it's not an artifact or
Likely.
anything like that.
Likely
Right.
story.
Or they said it's a glinty rock, which I thought was,
Very scientific. I
Yeah.
like that.
Well, I mean,
Glinty-
it's probably... Why wouldn't it be light just shining off of something like a glinty rock?
the problem with the picture is that
You
instead
ever get
of
into
it,
glinty rock?
is that like
It's
Fraggle Rock?
It's like prog rock.
It was like right after disco.
The problem with it is that you're right. I mean, it does when you just look at it, it looks like a
Make that
flame,
noise
like,
again? Do that again? Okay.
like oh, glance. You know, it's like it looks like a
Yeah, right.
like a vent.
Like you had a Peter Gabriel show.
yeah.
Cirque du Soleil
yeah.
coming up from the... Yeah.
But I mean, it could just be a like
Apparently, it's very common.
Yeah, I heard that was
I'm
common.
guessing that it is. Is it what happens?
All the
is-
photos that aren't released, apparently this comes up quite a bit.
Yeah, all these guys on the blogs and everything, they get a hold of some NASA stuff. And, one guy was an engineer for a radio station in Terre Haute or something. And so he's like, I'm a smart guy. I know I can assess these things.
And it's just like
And-
the face that was on Mars. Now
The
we have
face,
better
by the
equipment
way, yeah,
that
it wasn't
you can
really.
see it's not a
It
face.
was like you're looking at a cloud,
Yeah.
thinking it's a face. It's not. It's not a face.
Mars
that cloud
people
looks
put
like
it
a
there.
face. Why the hell would the people on Mars build a face?
To send a message.
Well, why don't they just write a message?
the
help.
face was the message.
What's
You
the
think they
hell?
speak English?
Yeah, they don't speak English.
That's how they communicate, Eric. They
So
can't
it's a
just write in their
hieroglyph.
languages.
Hieroglyph
Yeah.
sort of- yeah.
Well, why wouldn't they speak English? Supposedly we lived there for a while.
It's a really old version of English.
Ye old facey. So I'm gonna give. I kind of threw this on you. I'm sure that you would be more. I know that your inclination would be to believe that it's some kind of.
I could believe it could be either thing. I think it could be either the. It looks like a reflection. I mean, that's just it. It looks like a reflection that a camera picked up, and it's more glary
Yeah.
than it should be. But then it also looks like some. It's
a torch.
Looks like a light. Yeah, it looks like a light.
You know what's weird about this? The same time NASA. Once the story's out there, then NASA releases a story where they say that we're on track to put a person on Mars by 2030.
Oh,
Which is
right.
great.
Anybody feel that? Anybody feel that we're on track? We're hitching a ride with the fucking Russians.
That's because
to get
we're
to the
worried about
space shuttle.
Mars.
People are, I think, volunteering, right?
do you
No,
mean?
whoever goes,
They're signing up.
Probably not even old enough. To
It's
do
a
it yet.
very So
Yeah,
you
that
can't
whoever's
even-
going to go to Mars in 2030 is probably in elementary school right
Yeah,
now.
a Mars mission is 9 months to get there at the closest, I think.
9 months. I thought it was like 2 years.
No, the whole round trip is 2 years. It
Okay.
takes longer
Oh.
to get back
You're
than
thinking.
to get there.
You're thinking about Harlan Williams in Mission to Mars.
Yes. Right. So
Space Man.
this is
whatever
a
it
real
was.
problem. Aside from the fact
Rocket
that,
Man.
Keep going. Figure out the joke.
aside from the fact that I think that
inside the creative process.
NASA has effectively just been decimated by the politics of the last few years.
I thought you said you weren't going to talk about Obamacare.
No, I'm not. It's just the enlightened, educated president just doesn't see any reason whatsoever to put money into NASA, and NASA is just falling apart as far as I'm concerned, and it is absolutely embarrassing. I'm not going to get into a political thing, but Ronald Reagan would not hitch a ride to the fucking space station with the Russians, if that doesn't bother you,
to the Mars with you, commies.
that's right. That's right. He wouldn't do that. We're America, for Christ's sake. What the hell are we doing hitching rides with other people to get to the space station? So I don't see us getting to Mars. NASA is so full of shit lately. NASA's latest big thing is vote on our new space suit. Have you seen that? They have two different style of space suits.
They're trying to get
They
back
both
in the
look
public
like
eye.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's all NASA is now, is a PR bullshit
Well, what do you
thing.
think drove it in the beginning? It was public support. People really were
Public
into
support because you're putting a man on the moon because that's something I can get behind. I don't give a fuck what your spacesuit looks
You're
like.
also trying
Make
to
it
win.
so that it works the
it.
best.
You're also trying to win at that point. And it's like, yeah, fuck
We're
those
still
Russians.
trying to win. How are people going to feel when China and Russia and all these other countries are on the moon and we're not? That's not going to bother anybody?
No, it wouldn't bother me.
That says, so it doesn't bother you that China and Russia are stronger than your country.
How about we've been there, done that. We're moving on.
Yeah, go.
We've
You can
done
use
the
the
moon.
road.
I
mean, the problem is
you
we
can
haven't
use that
moved
car.
on.
See,
You
that's,
want the
I don't,
moon? You got
there's,
it.
there's something in me that wants to debate this, and there's another thing that just says these people just don't understand, and you'll never convince them that you have to take the highest hill. The moon is the highest hill. After the moon, Mars is the highest hill. Whoever's on the moon owns the planet. It's that simple.
Really?
What are they
Even
gonna
with
say?
You really
satellites
think that?
Yes, I do.
With
Really
satellites?
think that
yes,
if
I
China
absolutely do.
goes to the
I do
moon,
believe. I do
then
believe.
we're
I
all
do believe
fucked.
all this. The reason that I could build a studio in here for a reasonable amount of money is because of what the moonshot gave us. It's not about going to the moon. It's about John Kennedy saying we're going to the moon and a generation of people deciding to be scientists and. On the way to the moon and after the moon and the things that it takes to get to the moon leads to everything that we have in this room.
I hate to be the bearer of the obvious, but China already owns us, and they're not on the moon. So what do we give a shit?
That is that can be temporary. But if we allow them to start beating us in exploration, look at history. The countries that have explored the furthest, should be farthest, have gone the farthest.
thing. It's okay.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
No, it's not. We'll
English
talk about that
teacher.
later.
All right.
We'll talk about that later. But it's not the same thing. You further your goals, make it as farther south than Atlanta. That's how it works.
I was-
Farther is a measurement. Further is
Keep going,
an
we'll talk.
aspiration. So,
okay.
it really is the part of the reason we won the Cold War is the fact that we were doing all of these things. Other countries, and when the Earth was split in half between the West and the East, and America was dominant in the West, and Russia, the Soviet Union was dominant in the East. You had a lot of countries in between who were going to decide who am I going to be allied with. All right. And the question became easy for a lot of countries, and I thought, am I going to go with the country that has 10 families in one dormitory, or am I going to go with the country that's on the fucking moon, that's walking on the moon? This is what you
That's
get
the
out of
only
it.
thing that's gonna deter
It's not the
somewhere.
only thing. It's
Yeah.
not the only thing, but it's an important thing. Otherwise, you have to say, Eric, going to the moon was not a big deal and did not do much for the country.
Hold on, but at the time it was a big deal. But that's like today going, holy shit! Have you seen the new cassette player that's coming out of China?
No, but how do you get to Mars? You don't
That's
bypass
what we
the
just
moon.
said.
No, I'm
we
saying
just said we're going to Mars. That's
they
the
said
next
they're going
big
to Mars,
thing.
and I'm saying that's bullshit PR. They're not ready to go to Mars.
So-
NASA has no
hey,
ability. John
you don't
Kennedy,
think-
hold on,
you
hold
don't
on,
think-
hold on. They're talking about being on Mars on 2030. John Kennedy in 1961 said we will put a man on a moon and bring him back before the end of the decade, and we did it 9 years later.
You don't think that as soon as he said that and the cameras were off, he went, "Oh fuck,
Yes, but it
we got to
forced.
put a guy on the moon."
Guess what we got to do? We got to put budgets now. We got to put our money
yeah,
into
and
it.
you know
we got to
what?
back it up. We got to
said
make it happen.
We said it, and you know what? You want the moon? It's dead. We've been there.
Well, it can be. You don't think it
Talk
can be a
about the
platform?
old shit. No, because we're going to Mars. We're not
Are
worried
you
about
using
the
the
moon.
Can't
moon as
get
a
to Mar-
metaphor, and what you really mean is Mars?
No, I'm saying that we need, in order to go to Mars, we need to be on the moon. We need to be back on the moon, and we need to have, basically, you want to lift off from the moon.
base camp there.
You don't want to lift up, because you want to lift off without the gravity. We spend so much money.
Energy
So basically,
and-
we could send a bunch of our supplies straight to Mars, actually. But what I really was going to, before I got mixed up in that whole thing, when you were talking about the people that would actually do this, it's a very difficult situation because when you went to the moon, would it take 2.5 days to get to the moon or something like that?
yeah.
So you wanted cowboys. You wanted hot shots, like take Top Gun. You wanted Goose. You wanted these guys.
You wanted a dead
Goose,
man.
Goose wasn't the
Not
hot
Goose,
shot.
but I mean,
Goose was a
Maverick.
queer.
Maverick. You wanted Maverick.
You wanted ice.
You wanted those guys because it was only and it was exciting and boom. Problem with going to Mars is it takes 9 months to get there. You don't want
it's,
five
and it's
cowboys.
Not a return mission.
Well,
They're-
this may not be, but if you did a return mission,
That's what they're saying, though, is that
Right.
it's just no, you're there. You're not coming
yes.
back.
Well, that's some plans are that way. Other plans are different.
Oh, really?
You could bring people back. It would take 2 years to do the entire round trip.
I heard that the plan that they're working on right now is like
Just
you're
to
not coming.
send people.
You're just sending there, and you're going to try and live.
Well,
and
that's
make it
fine,
work.
but still, you end up in the same situation.
Right.
The problem is that you need when it's not you blast off. That's exciting. Then for 9 months,
Yeah.
you basically sit together and wait. Then when you get to Mars,
And then
everybody has to scramble because now you got to be at the top of your game. You got to land this thing properly. We got to get into this thing. We got to get the right spot. It's a lot easier to find just cowboys that can do this than to find people who can be cowboys when you need them to be cowboys and to be completely calm and not fight each other for 9 months. You're sitting in a capsule basically.
Hyperbolic
for
sleep chambers.
9 months.
Well, they'll probably give them something to do. It's not like there's going to here's a deck
yeah.
of cards. They're going to like give them
Well,
experiments.
that is
and
how they'll
stuff to
do. But I mean, they'll be practicing the whole time for the landing as they go. But it's harder to find the personalities that can get along for 9 months, be calm most of the time, and then be razor sharp when it comes time 9 months later to land the thing.
How long are people up in the International Space Station? What's the longest?
I think the
space
longest has been
life
Years?
thing?
maybe a year, 6 months,
Yeah.
something like that.
So
you
maybe-
can't stay very long because of your bones.
Right. You have to. Well, you have to like keep exercising and
They
do
do
all
a
this
little
stuff.
bit up there, but it doesn't help really.
That's
I
what
mean, it helps
I'm
a little
saying.
bit, but
I think that on the way there, they're going to be given a lot of stuff to do to keep them busy.
playing reverse Jenga,
Yeah, and playing all those indie games. we
TikTok
talked about.
Woodman or whatever.
Talk. That's what they're gonna do in space with no gravity. That game's gonna work well.
I just don't want to be angry, but I cannot believe that you guys are just so like, yeah, let China explore and we'll go further than us. How can you be that way? How can that not?
I don't- we
help
don't-
you
think it's
that
that.
another country would be doing that and not the United States of America. I don't understand that. I don't understand that point of view. You might as well be speaking Chinese.
Greg, what do you think?
No, I was just gonna say I don't think maybe I'm coming off as passive in it. But what are you gonna do at this point? If they're really going to go to Mars, they're gonna do the things that they needed to do to go to Mars, and I don't actually even believe the statement like you said that
Right.
we're gonna put forth
It's
the effort
BS.
at this point.
It's BS.
But what are you getting out of the moon?
We're not getting anything out of the
You're
moon
gonna
right
put
now
up a
because
giant
we're not,
laser on the moon? Is that what you?
No, you could
satellites.
set
We
it
have
up.
Satellites to destroy other countries if we need to.
you could set it up for further exploration. That's what we should be doing. We shouldn't even be thinking about Mars or where else we're going to go or whatever. We should be putting a permanent base on the moon that has an American flag, not a United Nations flag, not a this is the whole world. Fuck the whole world. We're the United States of America. We're going to put a base on the moon. From that base, we will then decide where we're going to go. Perhaps Mars is the next place to go. But why are we the space? How far the International Space Station? It's like 60 miles from here or something. Straight up, it's nothing. It's nowhere. Why
Did you
not
say
have a
straight up? Do you mean like in location, or were you
like
just being
straight
like
up.
a
I mean,
hood?
if you
Yo,
got-
straight up 60 miles.
straight up, yo. No, if you go straight up, it's like 70 miles.
Yeah.
To where they're going. Am I right? I think I'm right about that.
With
It's
the space
very,
station.
It's very low Earth orbit.
By the way,
Okay.
longest space flight is 437 days, 18 hours.
Oh, nice. I think
Why not have a permanent base on the moon where we keep
I
where we
think-
put people there and bring them back and put them
maybe
there and bring
this
them back?
really is, and I don't mean to make this line, but maybe it is like a generational thing. You know what I mean? Like you're coming.
Like we believed in excellence.
All right, now hold on.
No, I'm telling you, you
No,
guys are
listen
much
to what I'm
more.
saying.
You
No,
guys
no.
are much
All
more
right, I'm
worldly. Let's get the world involved. Let's do it as a planet. Let's not fuck the planet.
Oh, progression.
Do it. That's not progression.
Straight
That's
up.
not progression.
Straight up.
It's
You tell
one-
me what bureaucracy and committee invented
Hold
something
on.
interesting.
Listen to me. What
First of all,
She
the
said
euro.
I'm listening.
my point is that you're just coming from a place and maybe like a time when, at least in my mind,
Yes,
honestly,
yes.
I know, and I don't mean to put it like that.
Let me get my cane. Yes.
Is that the world was
Oh,
more?
I pooped myself again.
It's all right.
Go
the,
ahead.
the world was more divided. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we grew up basically having more access to far reaches of the globe, maybe. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like
Right.
the world is a lot smaller.
But don't
than
you think that this is a philosophic point? It's where you stand philosophically. I cannot believe that people of your generation and younger are cool if other countries explore further into space than we do.
You know what the
to me,
problem
wait,
is?
because
We're
of-
just sick of politics. I'm tired of it. Even in
That's-
the first
yeah.
time around, there was politics.
Right.
It wasn't really about exploration. It was about politics, and so
It
people
was
got
about
behind
beating
it.
the Russians because
Yeah, that's fine. And now it's just like, well, they don't care anymore, and fuck them, and there's nothing we can really do about it. If it's about exploration, sure, I'm all for it. And it's exciting, the thought of it, but
Right.
Yeah.
you have to give it privately funded at that
Well,
point.
maybe that's the way to go. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe Obama's a genius, and he's actually started something libertarian by starving NASA creates the Richard Bransons of the
Yeah,
world who
yeah,
decide
yeah.
that we'll do it.
And
I
that's
think
what's
that's
happening.
maybe that's a happy accident.
It
That's
might- I
what's
don't think so.
happening.
Maybe.
You know?
Right.
What would you rather have? Us be on the moon, or us being America, the first country to provide privately funded tours of outer space? Would you rather China be circling the Earth, giving tours, or would you rather that be us?
I think we should do it all.
Well, what would you pick one? You got
Well, I
one
can't
choice.
pick one because
I'm
one-
telling you right now, you got to pick one.
Well, just be.
I
pick
would.
one.
I would want to be the one going to Mars. I think that's more.
Forget
important.
Mars. It's not an option.
Or
do you
the
want,
moon.
You want the moon, or do you
Yeah,
want?
I want a permanent base
wants
on the
permanent
moon.
base
I
on
want
the
a
moon.
permanent base with the American flag above it on the
So-
moon. Much, kind of like in, and I'm not saying that we'd be like, oh, no one else can play. I get the fact that it will end up being something like when you have bases in on the North Pole or something like that.
Yeah.
But we should have our people there, and everyone should know that we put it. The arm. If you don't think that it's something about national pride, why the Canadians did one thing for the space shuttle, that arm, and every time you saw that arm, it said Canada.
That's fine.
Right. But it
Okay.
proves my point
Okay.
because it gave them pride to know, national pride, that they were a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
National pride is a purpose, a national purpose, other than I need to get another fucking dime out of the government for my latest entitlement. Would be nice if people said, no, it'd be great to have a goal, and maybe I won't live long enough to see it, but I'll be a part of what happens. You're moving into the future.
So I know that you made a joke about it being progression and how like you guys think you just want the whole world, but honestly, do you think it would be kind of nice to say like, okay, right now in our country, in the United States, the president is not funding NASA like maybe some of us think he should be, and so it's giving another country an opportunity to build this base on the moon. Okay, so now the entire world has that technology. It's not just China, right?
Right.
But so that is progress, right? I mean,
But I don't know.
And to
It's
that
not
point,
for me
though-
because
Okay.
I'm not Chinese.
Let's
I don't.
pretend-
I
but
can't,
it's not just about being
I can't
Chinese.
take pride in the Chinese doing that.
Why not?
What is it? Human?
Hold
Yeah,
on, time
yeah,
out,
yeah,
time
yeah.
out, time out.
Honestly,
To your
that's not
point-
okay.
to
Because
your
that
point, Autumn,
will take us back.
If we went to
I
another
think that-
planet, and if one of our satellites went to another planet and saw a base on one of their moons, is your first instinct to go, holy shit, planet ZXYWZ, they figured out they have a base, a satellite base on their moon, or do you go, man, I bet one of those pieces of land that's separated
Right.
by oceans politically gained momentum, and they're this particular group of people, they got it up there, and they're in charge.
No, I think that
Yeah,
humanity. I
humanity.
think humanity wins in the end.
Right.
But I am of a generation that believes humanity, that when the United States does stuff like that, it is good for all mankind.
And that women shouldn't vote.
No. But like China, but you're saying, but if somebody else does it, then it's not as beneficial.
I'm not proud of it. It's not pride for me if China goes to Mars or to the moon. I don't get any pride out of that as a
not?
human.
Why not?
Because America stands for excellence. We should be at the tip of the excellence spear.
But look at the people who are the scientists and some of the brightest minds in America.
They come here.
Are American immigrants.
Right, because that's what America is. We're a nation of immigrants.
Or
That's
they're
why
not.
we're the greatest
Or they're-
country in the world.
Or they're from other countries and they're still just as brilliant, and
They're immigrants either way. They're helping
no.
us work.
But we're using technology and medicines and inventions and creations from all over the world.
I just feel sad.
You feel sad?
I do. But the fact that you guys find that that's okay, and that you're more interested in an exploration in the future that's something along the United Nations model than along the national pride model.
But
Things happen because of national pride. Things get bogged down in bureaucracy when the whole world works together.
Oh no, I'm not. We're talking about the perfect storm. Like we don't have
Keep
to.
holding
I'm
up,
sorry.
pal. I
Sorry.
have never called on you before, and I'm never going to call on you again.
You're right. I mean, when you talk about too many chefs in the kitchen, kind of thing, you know, that does
It should
create a
be our
bureaucracy.
vision.
But I think, like I said, you're coming from a time when maybe there was more division and there was more like American pride. And for us, I don't feel like I grew up with that. I mean,
That's a shame.
it doesn't feel like a shame.
That's
it
a
just
shame.
Feels
I'm not
like,
saying that- I'm not
it feels
saying
like
that-
we're all, like you said, like humanity. It
Okay.
doesn't feel like there's division.
And I'm not saying that humans are better. I mean, I'm not saying that
Yeah,
Americans are better humans than others.
No.
But America is an idea. America is an idea that before it happened had never happened in history before. That people would actually run their own governments. Before America, it was kings and queens and only dictators and blah, 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 blah. And so it's important that we keep this idea alive in
Yeah.
many ways. And one of the ways is that we have to continually prove to the world that our way leads to excellence, that our way leads to progress, that our way leads
We're not
to
even
the
doing
future.
it here. We're not even doing it on the earth. I think that's why we just are so dismissive. It's a quagmire of bullshit and pettiness. I don't
Yeah.
fucking care anymore. Fuck the government.
And
Fuck
would you
them.
would
They
you
get nothing done.
Right, I
There's
agree.
nothing
Yeah.
exciting that's happened in our lifetimes. I don't think you can cite
So we can
Reagan,
agree that the
and
space
we were
shuttle-
born then.
Yeah.
We were
Right.
born then, but I by the
Right, we
time I'm
weren't
old enough
affected.
to have any interest in what's going on,
Right.
there's nothing. That
How
you
about
can
the
get
space
behind.
shuttle, which was a revolutionary thing in what it was? I think going back and forth to the space station has done very little. I don't think that it has. But the space shuttle itself was an amazing vehicle. If 10,000 years from now they'll be poring over that thing for the time period and thinking this is just amazing. Now, to go to Mars and everything else, because of the budget cuts, they're going back to 1968, Atlas rockets or something like that. They're digging out the old shit from the warehouse and putting it together, and nobody's got the next space shuttle on the board. Maybe Richard Branson does. Like I said,
Right.
maybe
It's
that
gonna have
goes
to be private.
that goes
It's
to
gonna have to be
private
private.
industry, and the libertarian part of myself is all for that, but I'm not enough of a libertarian to believe that you can do the pure research and development that is necessary to really go out there, and I hate to use this term, conquer space, because that's like a thing. But you
yeah.
conquer it intellectually. You conquer it by the same way that I don't know. I don't mean it in a warring way. What
Right.
I mean
you don't
is,
mean it like no one else can come here. It's ours.
I believe the United
Or
States
like
of America
oppress
is
something.
special.
Yeah.
I believe that America is special in its history,
Ah.
and and anybody who doesn't think it's special, who are you going to root for in the 20th century without the United States? Do you root for Hitler? Do you root for Tojo? We saved this planet from darkness. Darkness. This thing was going to go backward. We don't have progress is not a given. You could turn around and go backward and not have lights in 100 years.
So why can't China progress?
China can, but we need to compete with them, and we need to beat them. That's what it's
See,
about.
I don't think we have to beat them.
We have to beat them back to the moon, and we have to beat them to Mars.
So if
Yeah.
Russia said right now that they have the technology and they are getting ready to put a base on the moon, you would rather it not happen because it's not.
no,
United
I would
States.
want us to compete and be there as well.
Well, I
Right,
think
but
that's
if
what it's going to take to start the competition right now.
But it's
Maybe we
already
don't-
started.
we don't
China's
view-
going.
Yeah, you laugh at China. I think part of it is saying we've been to the moon, whatever.
Right.
Good, and the technology now is
But it's not
certainly
just
better. And
visiting.
who
You
knows
think
what
these
they're going to do there?
computers would have happened without the moonshot? I don't.
Or without China, or Japan, or
Yeah, 'cause who
Korea.
made
Well,
these?
man,
We-
a little
or Vietnam.
You're confusing things. I'm talking about the research and development portion of this that makes it possible.
We're not
I don't care where
saying-
it's manufactured.
Right. We're not saying that in the past the United States being on the moon and like you're talking about was negative. We're saying though that
It just doesn't mean anything to you.
no, it's meaningful.
But have you looked at what's happening in high school scores with our students compared to the rest of the
Of
world?
course,
And look
yes.
at China that's going to the moon and doing the things. What are their students doing?
Yes.
Our kids have fucking YouTube channels and they tap out.
right.
Other countries that are doing this, the same thing is happening there that happened to us in the late 50s and early 60s when we had the space program going. I'm 12. What do I want to do for the rest of my life? I want to be in science because that's what's exciting. You can't get kids excited about science based on, well, one day you'll work for Dow Chemical.
Right.
It's a fine job, but what happens is Dow Chemical ends up with a lot better scientists because you're going to Mars, because you have a mission. And I don't understand this whole thing with Obama. As a Bush supporter, I was told he was an imbecile. He was an idiot. He couldn't even speak. Yet he and his father were always funding NASA at a pretty good clip and encouraging them to go to Mars. Then we get the enlightened guy who's a professor. He's smart. He's great with the language, and he doesn't have 5 fucking cents for NASA.
Right.
And nobody in the press has ever put him on the spot
you're talking
about
about
it.
the press.
I don't even know.
Here's-
I'm not talking about the press. I'm talking about why haven't I ever heard Barack Obama explain why he doesn't want to fund NASA? Why hasn't that question been
Yeah, I
asked?
don't know. That's a
But
good
here's the thing: you're talking about YouTube channels and kids not being interested in things, and you're not a big government guy. And you don't want the government to interfere with things, so doesn't a lot of that fall on the parents? The parents saying, "Hey, get off your fucking YouTube channel.
Right.
Stop playing your damn video games." And
Well, the parents are getting their
I get
face
that.
their
I get
faces
that, but there's-
modified to still look like they're young.
yeah, so this is
Country is in so much trouble. Nobody cares about going into space
that's the
anymore.
thing. We're too distracted. There's too much going on at any given
We're
time.
living off of of previous generations who created all of this stuff.
Yes, those great
Isn't
generations
this how
have
Rome
created
died?
this.
Isn't this how Rome died?
And that's what.
Basically, and
Well,
there was a
I
couple
mean, yeah.
generations that came along and didn't build anymore, didn't do anything anymore. They just sat around on their fat asses and lived off what the previous generations had provided.
Well, that's like what happens, right? With your if the parents are millionaires, then the kids are assholes because
Yes,
they never had to work. for
we're
anything.
the assholes.
Right.
Living off of previous generations
Greatest
and what they've
Generation,
done.
World War
Well,
II.
Greatest Generation also created, they voted for FDR 4 times.
We are the assholes, though, and it's so frustrating that everyone just wants to be some star. I just want to be a star. I want people to know who I am. I don't want to do too much work for it.
Now, I think that the pendulum though could be swinging because
Let's hope so.
I'm not the only person who's going to try and raise this baby like differently than the
Right.
way I see assholes living. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Well,
I'm
you
sure,
get more
you know.
responsible when you have children, that's for sure. But
well,
I mean,
and
I'm,
being like, all of the parents being like over concerned about like, oh, don't touch that, don't eat that, don't, I'm not. I'm going to be more laid back,
Mm-hmm. right,
and I'm
because
not the only
you're
person
reacting
doing
to what
that.
they
Right.
Go fall off the slide.
name
And learn.
Yeah.
What?
Just don't break your neck.
Why don't
Yeah.
we celebrate athletes? I think that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We celebrate who's the and TV people don't count. Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson does not count. Who's a scientist who's made we are living.
made what?
Michio
We
Kaku.
are living. We are living
my
in a
answer.
time period.
To what?
We are living in a time period where people will look back and the explosion of science in our time has been unbelievable. We had no exoplanets 10, 15 years ago. Now we've got hundreds of them. The things that have been discovered have been amazing. We never celebrate science people. Unless they're Neil deGrasse Tyson.
They're
and
called
they could
scientists, by the way.
Science
I
people.
mean, but they're not.
Science
no, no,
people.
I mean, I suppose. I'm okay. I sound like an
funny.
idiot. I'll
No.
give you
Go
that.
ahead,
But
go
I mean, but my point is, there are no people who are famous
Right.
popularly in culture because of what they added to science, and
But over the course
none
of
more
time-
has been added to science than we're living in the golden age.
But
right
you're,
now,
and now you're. But now the exact example of why you think that NASA and space exploration is important to get kids excited to be science. In the same breath, you'll say that Cosmos, the TV show Cosmos, is garbage.
No, I've told you that
That's
I
me.
think
I say it's garbage.
I've told you that I would not. I think it's better to have Cosmos than not have Cosmos. I just think the Universe, a series from a couple years ago on history, was better. That's all.
What about? Let me
I
ask
think
you
I'm
this.
not. I'm not against popularizing science in any way that you can.
To pull back to Obama, 2010 in October, he signed the NASA Authorization Act, which gave 58 some odd billion dollars to fund NASA. Is that not happening anymore? Did that get repealed?
let's base that on what that was before. I don't think it was $58 billion a year.
No, 58 billion to spend over the course of 3 years.
I'd have to see what that is compared to what the Bush administration was doing with their funding.
Right.
So now you bogged me down into real numbers.
I know.
Are you disagreeing with me that NASA is just not a priority that it used to be?
Well, I mean,
There's
$60
he's just saying
billion
there's money.
dollars
It's not a priority, though.
seems to be a lot of dough.
$58 billion is a lot of dough, and there's waste there just like there's waste anywhere else.
Right.
But they spend a lot more time with PR, NASA, and there's a reason for that. They don't do this stupid vote on the next spacesuit. You know what I think the next spacesuit should be? Whatever your scientists think that it should be to best protect the astronaut.
No.
I don't need a fucking lighted up V on it to make me interested. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get me to lobby Congress. This is a whole wind around. All of this PR is to get me interested, so I'll say, hey, spacesuits are neat, and maybe I'll get more interested in it, and maybe I'll tell my congressman, you should fund NASA.
I know I know which one they're going for, and it's not the one with the light up V, because that's the only suit that inside that picture has a black fella, and so
that's right.
they
America still.
clearly are playing to the subtle racism that still lingers.
But it's
within
like a radio
majority of
station
America.
stunt. Isn't that sad?
But now what
NASA's
about- 'cause
doing,
when
pick
they-
the next spacesuit?
When they discovered
The
Pluto,
fuck
wasn't
do
there
I
a
know?
big campaign asking like for people to name the next planet that they found?
Yes, they're doing this all the time. It's
Right.
all PR with
So that's
NASA.
fine. I
No,
mean,
it's
getting
more of a
people interested,
commentary.
no?
Again, going back to this society in this country, that's more of a commentary on that. How are you going to get their attention?
Right.
Oh, well, they got to be involved, and it's interactive, and I can post this on Twitter, and I saw it now. Now, cool, I can vote on this.
I guarantee you that there are way more meetings at NASA than you can imagine about their brand, their branding.
No, you're right.
Using social
You're-
platforms.
You're probably right, and that's the wrong
I'll tell
approach.
you.
But that's you want to capture the attention of us.
Yeah.
It's that
Now,
it takes
however-
these days, and
all
it's
right.
lame.
Do you remember when you pull up on YouTube Walter Cronkite saying that man's walking on the moon? I mean, he's like a news guy, and he like stops and like takes his glasses off and kind of like rattles his head like, I cannot believe that
He was
I'm looking
faking
at
it
this.
'cause that-
well, he
'cause
was
the
part
moon
of the
landing
whole.
was fake,
He
yeah.
was part of the whole roost,
Yeah.
of course.
Like,
do
what?
this emotional
What?
thing, you know.
He was a news actor.
No, I mean this is the
is.
entertain. This is the media side of NASA.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know from Travis is asking for grants from NASA, and they're funding a ton of different things that we just don't know about.
Of course,
so it's
of
not
course,
just
and a lot of
this
that
stuff.
research, and you can there's an argument about
Yeah.
manned and unmanned. Manned missions are more for PR. You really can't really get a whole lot more done. Usually, it's more that more people get interested because men are going.
there's a
When we
person.
have the machines, really to kind of just go and sort of tell us what's there. But I always argue that manned missions are important. We still talk about Columbus and the three. That was Spain at the time was funding that sort of thing, exploration. Believe me, Columbus getting in that boat and those people getting on that boat and heading off
People
the way
are
they
excited
did.
by danger
Look,
like
they
that.
they were probably in more uncharted territory and weirdness and danger than the guys in the capsules going to the moon and back.
We had more
knew
information.
more about
Yeah, yeah.
what they were going through and what was going to happen. It
Right.
was actually scarier, I think, to get on those boats with Columbus. It's all the same thing. And big countries that pride themselves in excellence and progress should be the countries that are putting man furthest out in exploration.
Yeah.
I believe that since I was a kid. You're never going to get that out of me. And I'm not going to be happy to live long enough to be in a world where China and Russia are doing things out there and we're not, because we're still trying to make healthcare affordable. It's that stupid Leonard Skinner line.
You don't
There's
think
a-
that's an important thing, though?
I think it's
you want these
important.
scientists to live?
Huh?
You want these scientists to be able to live, get the health care they need to go on to
No.
create big things?
Put them in a cage,
send
pull them
them
out, get their information, send them out into space, kill them if you have to. It's all in the name of the good old USA,
That's
I think.
right.
I don't think you can compare it with health care.
No, what I'm
It's not a
saying
good-
is our focus is all on.
Well, the focus is
what
'cause that's the
fuck
bullshit
are we
politics of
That's
it.
the
entitled
that's
to?
the
That's
bullshit.
the politics
Let
of
me
it.
ask
Why
you
can't you just say,
something.
let's do
what
this?
What are you entitled to? What are you entitled
I don't
to?
think I'm entitled to anything.
You were born into this world. You fell out of a vagina. What are you entitled to?
I don't think I'm entitled to anything.
Okay, well, you're not.
I'm
on,
lucky
on
that
board
the
with most of
people-
the people in this world, because there are people who think they're entitled to health care. Where does it come from? Falling out of a vagina?
I don't look. I
Where
don't
does
think
that
I'm entitled to
entitlement
it,
come from?
but make it so it's reasonable to get it, to obtain it. Someone who's a freelancer who doesn't make that much money. You want to go get health
I
care?
think that you
It's
should try to
hundreds
have-
of dollars a month.
You should
hundreds
try to-
of dollars a month just in case something happens.
Well, okay, fine. I would say that any system should be as efficient as possible. Doesn't matter what it is. I would argue that having the government step on in and run things is not going to up efficiency, but I don't disagree that healthcare is a real thing, that we have to do something about poverty, that we have to do all of these things. But I do disagree that, well, that's more important than doing things that bring pride to the nation, that actually show your excellence on the planet, that actually push progress to their bounds. I think those things are very important. I don't think they're mutually exclusive, but I do think we've gotten into a phase now out of, I don't know what's happened in the last couple of generations, where people seem to have this idea that they just deserve things, and that if they're not getting them, some rich asshole is keeping it away from them, and I need to vote people in there to take it away from him and give it to me. That is slow suicide for this country, because this country was not built on that mentality.
Right.
This country was built on neighbor helping neighbor, for sure, but it was built
People
on
don't know
I
that,
want to. People used to pick which kid went to college. You know, they had 7 kids. They didn't put them all in college. They're gonna, hey, little Jimmy, he's the smart one. He's the one going to college.
I really do think that is changing. I really do.
Back?
No, like not being so like I don't think every parent is the same today as the previous generations were.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For good or bad, but I'm not following.
I think it's getting better. Like it's not going to be as
well.
crazy.
How come our scores are what they are? How come our
I'm
high
not
school?
saying now. I'm saying like I'm talking about me. I guess.
Right. You think
really.
there's a change a coming?
Yes.
I'll tell you why they're bad, because parents are shit. That's
You're
why
right.
they're bad. The teacher calls your kid's not performing in class. Shut up. My kid would perform in class. It's
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Bingo.
exactly. My kid
Bingo.
wouldn't do that.
It's bingo.
You know?
If my mother
Yeah,
found
exactly.
out that there was something going down at the school and she wasn't called by the principal, she'd call the principal and say, "Have you looked at my son? He's a bit of an asshole." I mean, she would volunteer me as somebody who probably was causing the problems. You just hit it perfectly. That is exactly the problem. I mean, parenting is a difficult thing. I'm not a perfect parent. It's a very difficult thing over many years. But that attitude right there, not my kid.
Right.
I
Greg's
had
such
no
a
idea.
suck up to Eric.
I had no idea. I had no idea when I was a kid that lawyers were something that I could avail myself of. It never occurred to me that I could lawyer up. Now we get these ridiculous things like the girl a few months ago who was suing her parents
Yeah.
because they wouldn't pay for her college. You know,
but
I
you
mean,
know
that's
what?
an
Her
outlier.
Parents are loaded, and like that's probably comes from an extension of
Right.
the parents'
It's an
attitude
outlier.
towards everything.
It's
Right,
an
right,
outlier, but in
exactly.
the extremes, you can see the
Yeah.
behavior,
Yes,
the
definitely.
seeds of how we get to this. Whereas I was taught growing up, nobody owes you anything. And that's an absolute. No one on the planet owes you anything. You have to go out there and make it on your own. It doesn't mean your friends won't help you. It doesn't mean that you won't help friends. It doesn't mean that you won't be human. You don't have to be some Ayn Rand libertarian cold fish.
Right.
You can
Island.
be an island unto yourself.
Right.
But people can help you if they want to.
But that comes
no
from
one
work
owes you.
also.
People do like, oh yeah, I believe that, but I get Social Security. No one owes you anything.
But if you want to talk
that
about
is the strongest way to live.
if you want to talk about this country, okay, nobody owes you anything. But
I should be saying nobody, not no one. Huh? It's bad
okay.
grammar. It's okay. I felt bad.
well, if you want to talk about enlightenment that this country was founded on, providing rights and liberties to people, it's turned into what capitalism. I'm not saying there's a better system than capitalism out there, but it's running rampant. So you get things that it's just about making money,
Right.
and then these things that they would like to provide to us. Because I don't think that anything should just be handed to us. But if you want to provide something like healthcare, make it accessible. It's not accessible right now for a lot of people. And it was tied into employers at some point, because that's when employers actually wanted people to come work
Right.
for them. Hey, come here. Look at this incentive that you can have. Come over here and you can get this.
I'll
But
pay
now it's
for your
become the
healthcare.
common system.
Yeah, I'm not saying
and
that
they don't
healthcare
even
didn't
want
need
you
to
to
be-
work there. They want to fire everyone who does work there.
I'm not saying that healthcare didn't need to be fixed, but I never understood from the very beginning is it seemed like all the problems were on the insurance side, and then we went and changed the actual doctoring side. The problem wasn't the doctors. They were providing a good service overall. Why didn't we just reform insurance? Why did it become the type of thing where all of a sudden
Because they're too powerful. Because they're private companies. I don't care if it
Right.
remains private. Keep insurance private, but you got to reform it.
Well, fine, but why did we have to get into
I agree with
doctors?
what you're saying.
Why did we have to get in?
Yes, I don't
why,
know.
Why was the the reform having to? You know how many clinics there are in this country? So now you got one place, DC, has their hand in every transaction that goes on at every clinic in the country every day. Doesn't that seem like a bit much? Doesn't that seem like it would be impossible to do it efficiently? It does to me. I don't think you could do that efficiently. Why not do things like, how about this? How come I can only buy insurance from companies that are in Georgia?
Right.
Why can't I look over the whole country and there's a cool place in Wyoming, and that's how people do with car insurance. My car insurance isn't from. So, I don't want to get into that whole Obamacare thing.
It's
But
not even about
I'm not
Obamacare, and
saying-
I think this just was
Right.
used as the catalyst
I'm
to
not
talk about
saying-
bigger issues.
I'm not saying that healthcare was perfect. But now they're bragging about 7 million people signing up, and now they've done deeper studies. Out of those 7 million, there's only 1 million of them that didn't have insurance before. So out of the 40 million people that was the whole sell, right? Is that 40 million people don't have insurance. Okay, good job. We've insured 1 million of them. The other 6 million had insurance. They just went with the Obamacare thing rather
It
than the
was cheaper
insurance
or
they had.
something?
Whatever.
Oh, because maybe they already had it.
Or maybe
through...
their companies dumped them and said, "Hey, go on Obamacare. I don't know what it was."
Yeah.
All I'm saying is there's only 1 million out of that 7 million. There's only 1 million who are now insured who weren't insured before. And I thought the whole idea was there's 40 million people out there who aren't insured. I always doubted that number because probably 15 million of them are undocumented. I can still be a humanitarian and say you should still go to the hospital if you're undocumented, but at least be transparent with me. Oh, we're going to end on Obamacare? I hate that subject.
I was going to say that the reason I think that you view people maybe our age and younger as tuned out is because it's always a runaround.
It
Here's
is a
the problem.
runaround.
Let's
Yeah.
fix it. You're not fixing it. You're just pretending to do something about it to hopefully
Exactly.
distract us with it. So then we tune
So
out.
don't vote for people who ride up on a white horse and guarantee you that they're going to make everything perfect
who
in the
else do you
solar
vote
system.
for? Like, there's nobody
you
good to
vote
vote
for.
for.
The practical guy. You look at the two guys. And
They're
you
all
say,
the same.
No one's
I
offering
don't
Meet
to
the
think
fix
new
they're all
boss,
anything.
the same as the old
I
boss.
don't
No one's
think they're all
offering
the
to fix
same. I don't think
anything.
they're all the same.
No.
I don't. I
Well-
really don't. I think that
Once
I
they
think,
get
I
in
think,
there-
I think Barack Obama wanted to change health care in the 90s. And when he became president, he was going to do that. It didn't matter what was going on. He walked into a major financial collapse and still decided that his priority was health care. And so I think that is an idealistic position.
Just like Bush wanted to avenge his dad in Iraq.
That's right. Goes around and round and round and round. Anyway,
They're all the same.
I don't want to be all worked up about this. Can we end on something
It's
nicer, fun?
Sure.
I
Talk
hate
about where we're
politics.
going to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to be on them.
I don't want. Hold on. I'm not going to end on that. I'm just going to say that you guys should rethink this. America should be furthest out in exploration at all times. It is important. I guarantee you the world doesn't look the same if you're the only country not out there. Other countries are better than you. If they've got a base on the moon, they are better than you. It's that simple.
And if you're building a base, sure.
We agree.
No.
I wish for you that you could see the world as one and not as divided.
Have you seen the
well,
world?
look,
Have you
that's a
seen the
little
world?
idealistic.
I know, I
It
know.
is.
I know.
It's,
Seen the world?
There comes a time
okay.
when we hit a certain
I drank that whole pitcher of water. I really got to get
Where-
out of
I
this.
know,
and I'm
Where
super
Where would
thirsty.
you rather live? Rwanda, United States?
United States.
Okay. Where would you rather live? Burma, United States?
Oh, I don't know.
What year?
This year, 2014.
Is it still Burma? Is it,
I think it's Myanmar.
Myanmar. Would you rather live in Myanmar or the United States?
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know
When was the
anything
last
about
time it was
Myanmar.
Burma?
Well, if you did, you'd say United States. Mexico City or
Ooh.
Atlanta, Georgia?
How about
Mexico
between
City.
Spain and
it a real
United
question?
States? I'd rather
That's a real
live.
question. Mexico City
Mexico
or Atlanta,
City.
Georgia?
Yeah, but you're choosing places
Really?
that are.
Absolutely.
Have you been there?
Do you know how many drugs I could mule into this country if I lived in Mexico City?
How about
Talk to you
Spain?
kids.
Spain and United States. Spain.
United States.
España.
You would rather live in
Spain's
Spain.
economy is shit.
Spain's
that's
economy
true.
has
Yeah.
been in the
Yeah, but they
shit
got
for
a good
50
idea
years.
sausage.
But they have Ibiza. You could party in Ibiza.
Yeah, I'm gonna go eat.
Oh,
Cool.
visit
Spain,
Spain?
is beautiful.
I'm gonna go eat
Spain was fun.
those rice plates.
All right, I got to end the show. I feel
Wrap
very
it
uns-
up,
I
wrap
hope
it
that the
up.
audience doesn't feel
What are
as
they called? The Spanish rice plates? Where it's
Is
rice.
it a paella?
Paella. Oh, I want some paella.
I just hope the audience
life.
doesn't feel as unsatisfied with the show as I do.
Aw.
No,
No, I think people really like this. I
Empty.
mean,
Hey, look under your hat, Eric. It says "Made in China." Anyway, Autumn.
I don't have a problem with that.
Autumn, where are you going to be?
Let
Wait,
them
I do
make
wanna-
I have to
things
pee.
that we
Autumn, where are you going
Create.
to be?
wait.
Autumn,
You play swords?
I want to
I
smooth
gotta go
it
bad.
over.
huh?
I just want to smooth it
No,
over.
you guys are dead.
No, we're
the country's
fine. No,
over.
we're not dead.
I
Oh,
was
you made
lucky
it
enough.
terrible
I don't
again.
even feel like there's a rift between us. Why are you
I
creating
was
one?
lucky
Yeah, I
enough.
don't feel like
I
there's
was
one
lucky
either.
enough to live in an age where people believed that the United States of America was about excellence and was the greatest country in the world. And now it's
I would
your
still
turn.
like it to be like that, but it's not right now.
His bladder's letting him go.
I
Where are
know.
you going to be? Well, not where you're going to be. How can people get in touch with you?
I'm gonna be online. Otto Pritz, Pritts, and
hate-
Eric.
I
Iris.
hate myself in this
Eric.
show.
No, don't.
I don't like when I raise
Stop.
my voice.
No, you
I
weren't
want to
yelling
say
at us.
something. People like this. They want to hear your opinions.
Screaming and hollering like a moron.
no
No, you weren't.
screaming.
No, honestly, you weren't. I think that this is one of the first like debates where you weren't like you didn't seem as angry or like
Yeah.
put out by
It
us.
It felt like we progressed.
yeah, it did
means
feel like a
something to me.
conversation
Yeah.
more than anything
Excellence
else.
is important.
So I'm telling you,
important.
I think people will like this show. And if
No
you don't,
one-
then you can find us on ericvonradio.com or you can find us on our Facebook and talk to us
Rate
about
us
it.
1 star on iTunes if you hated this show.
Yeah,
No
that
one.
guy probably loved
I'm just
it.
doing that because then it'll get people to iTunes.
No one or nobody owes you anything.
You can go further or farther.
I don't think any of us is arguing that someone does owe us.
Michael Albanese.
Yeah, coming out to Sweetwater Brewery tonight. I will be preforming. It's an anniversary show of some sort. It's been there for a couple years. I think it's like $10. You get in, you get a bunch of free beers. You get to keep the glass.
This is the anniversary of beer?
Yes, it's the celebration of Sweetwater taking over Turner Field.
Greg Russ has
Come
a,
out tonight, Sweetwater
I
Brewery in
will-
Atlanta.
Greg
I'll-
Russ has a full bladder.
o'clock.
I drank this whole pitcher for the people
I'm
actually
jealous.
watching. A
I'm
whole
so
pitcher of water.
thirsty.
So I'll be at the toilet.
Maybe pee.
Wrap it up.
That was
Slow.
the morning show.
Slower.
That was the
Fading.
morning show with Eric Von Hessler. We'll chat with you next time.